Everybody all right? I appreciate that. Welcome to the walk. Peace, Caleb. What's going on? Robot, I see you. 432 was good. GBs was good. Hey, I'm doing it. I'm doing what I can. Robot. I'm here. I'm holding on. Constantly at war. My brothers went to this thrift store not too long ago, and they found some books. And the two books that they found were Dr. York's books. One of them was the Millennium book. The other book was the year 2000 AD and what to expect. And they brought them right to me. So I feel that just like in the movie Knowing, where they put the little black rocks and stones in certain places and positioning for certain events to take place and for certain people to run into certain people and be connected, what might seem like happenstance, I feel it's the same way, you know, and anybody that knows who's been on that walk, it's no such thing as coincidence. So I feel that I see that this book was put in front of me for a reason. So I cracked it open, and I got to page 4. And by the time I got to page 4, I was like, I need to read this to y'all. So the name of this book is The Year 2000 AD and What to Expect. Pops wrote this book in 1996, right? So there were a lot of people like Bobby Hemmett who said that Dr. York copied off of Zechariah Sitchin and stuff like that. And we came on here, we started reading the Holy Tablets, and it only took you 30 seconds to realize that that wasn't true. But a quick history lesson will tell you it wasn't true also, because Earth Chronicles came out in 1976, right? Pops was teaching that stuff back in 1970, 1971, 1967. You know what I mean? So it was really weird that people like Bobby Hemmett, who had access to a library, access to the internet, wouldn't know that it was actually the other way around, that Zechariah Sitchin actually copied Dr. York, right? So we about to go in and break a lot of this stuff down and build it back up, okay? So we're going to flow with this shit. I just started reading. I think I remember this book because we had a lot of the books used to look like this. This how the books used to look. Me coming up, right? Leviathan 666, all them books. They was big as fuck, right? So I might have remembered this one. Shit, maybe I don't. But I remember before the smaller Leviathan book got to me, was one that looked just like this. It was big as fuck, right? So we'll see. We'll see what goes. But he starts off by speaking about the Nibiru. Everybody talk about Nibiru. The Nibiru. This was the statue that I told y'all was on Tamaray. They nailed him to the ground after they came to, start demolishing the land back in like 2005. They nailed this one to the ground. And they had taken all the other statues out. The brothers and sisters took all the other statues off the land. But they left this one, which was weird to me. And they also left the Tefnut statue, which was my mother's statue, made in the image and after the likeness of her. But yeah, I always would look at this statue and be like, that's me. Now, y'all might think I'm playing. As a child, I used to have an afro like that. And I used to, like, when it came time for me to go to school, even though my mama would pick out my fro, I would always take my hands, put it above my hair, and do a huge middle part, right? And sometimes I would even comb it down. But I had a big ass afro, You know what I'm saying? With the whatever the fuck you want to call it, Rico Suave hair, but it was, you know what I'm saying, still had the fullness to it, right? Just how Pop shit show up in his pictures. So I used to see this image and it just reminded me of myself. And but yeah, I just remember my mama trying to lift the statue after they had the shit nailed into the ground, and she couldn't lift it. And that's what I say in the Pop song when I'm just like, Omi, why you crying? She just held my hand because she couldn't stop. We were standing in front of this statue. It was laying out on the ground on Tamaray. All right. So that's just a little history of that. The symbol of what? The living Messiah. Name of the book, The Year 2000 AD and What to Expect. We're going to see how much of what Dr. Malachi Z. York has been speaking about have people been acting as if they were the ones to figure it out. Remember, Dr. Malachi Z. York was teaching in the 60s, so stop it first. Before we continue, let's stop it first. Stop it politely. He was teaching since the 60s, right? That means the 70s, the whole 70s. You remember the 70s was long as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think of that decades ain't long no more. Decades is like a few minutes, but they used to be long. The 70s was long. That was a long decade. The 80s was long as fuck. The 90s was long. All right? The early I don't know why everybody say the early 2000s, because in all actuality, it's 1,000 years in 2000s. So this shit all finna be early until like a good 2500, but I don't know. It's just the mentality. But when we first came into the year 2000 to 2010, long as fuck, long decade, right? But ever since then, it's been speeding up. Okay, so just think about all the things that were covered from then to now. And Dr. Malachi Z. York is still alive. He's still teaching. He's still speaking. Okay, he's still writing. He's still addressing situations. He's still letting people know that the game is almost over. Everything that he said, right, has come to pass. And everything that he said would come to pass is on his way to. All right, so boom. He said this is one of many of the articles that appear in a series of periodicals or newspapers that our members are sending to us. Note, they are all dated after we mentioned that Nibiru is coming. There goes the Nibiru right there. Right? Maybe now the Amorites are writing about it in his papers, you will have a little more faith in it. Now, what he means by Amorites is he's speaking about the Caucasoids or the Caucasians, melanin recessive people at that time. Right? They are simply talking about the crystal cities, right, that were mentioned in Revelation 21, all right, chapter 21, verse 2 through 4. He said, revert to the book of Revelation, chapter 21 and 22, and Nibiru and Anunnaki, fact or fiction. Remember, this is 1996. I want you to listen to how this book will sound like the spiritual community for some reason. This book will sound like the conscious community for some reason. And I'm telling you what the reason is. A lot of what people are talking about coming directly from, most of what people are talking about coming directly from Dr. Malachi Z. York. All right, so let's get into it. So they had an article, World to End in year 2000. Okay, speaking about some type of extraterrestrial craft that was in outer space that was detecting their radio signals and TV signals. Right, the Hubble Hubble telescope finds Doomsday Comet. All right. Heaven photographed by Hubble telescope, which was the New Jerusalem, or the city of God. All right, cool. This scroll is entitled The Year 2000 AD and What to Expect, because I feel that it couldn't be a better time. For many years, that is from 1970 AD until now, I have been trying to teach the Nubians and anyone else who would listen about what to expect in the year 2000 AD. As Essayed Isa al-Hadi al-Mahdi, or as Imam Isa, or as Rabboni Yeshua, or as Dr. York, or Reverend Dwight York, or Amanubi Ru'akata, or as I am now known, Dr. Malachi Z. York. I have been teaching them that the Luciferians' time of ruling for 6,000 years would be up in the year 2000 AD, which is equivalent to the year 6000 AD of his story. All right, what do you see right there? his story. How many times you done heard people say that? Okay, history is his story. That's Dr. York. Also, how he had 30 years to raise the 144,000, right? Which I refer to as al-Mukhlasina, all right? The purified ones. As mentioned in Quran chapter 15, verse 39 through 40, where it states that Shaitan and his evil foe is lying in wait to get everyone off the path, that he, Shaitan, will and has made evil fair seeming, except for those led by al-Mukhlas, who will be called the Mukhlasina. Today, this Mukhlasina is called Holy Tabernacle Ministries. The Luciferians use names and symbols to shield their dirty religion and their evil practices. We change names and symbols to protect ourselves from their attacks before the great and dreadful day of the Lord. That is found in the book of Malachi, chapter 4, verse 6. I wrote a book entitled Leviathan 666, edition number 28, back in the year 1971 AD, where I tried to prepare you for these last days and time. I taught you of the secret societies, yet you still didn't listen, right? Now the media is saturated with all kinds of people such as Jordan Maxwell, Terry Cook, who masquerades as Ted Lumen, Anthony J. Hilder, Michael Lindemann, Steve Allen, William Bill Cooper. Everybody gives William Cooper the props for Behold Pale Horse, right? A. Ralph Epperson, John Coleman, Roy Allen Anderson, William Josiah Sutton, William Guy Carr, and many other teachings from the things that I taught for years. And as I said, the hourglass is almost empty. Maybe now you'll see the importance of the year 2000 AD. Right? Question, what should we expect to happen in the year 2000 AD? Answer, if you have been following what I've been teaching you since 1967 AD, you would know what to expect and you would be prepared for the year 2000. Now that you are getting closer to the year 2000, you are beginning to become frightened. Now you are asking me, what should I do? As if I haven't been telling you what to do and how to do it all along. I began teaching about the coming of the New World Order as one of the main subjects that I presented you with. I told you Nubians don't believe anything unless I told you, hold on, he said it a different way. I told you Nubians don't believe anything unless the Caucasians say it. Didn't I tell you that? And of course, you denied it and said, no, that is not true. Yet, like everything else that I say, it has been confirmed. And now the New World Order is in effect. Recently, the Caucasian has been revealing some of the same things that I said years ago, but in less detail because they don't have a total overstanding as I do. They are now just getting around to it in videotapes such as the Basic Slide Presentation, Conspiracy 2000, Past, Present, and Future, AZ UFO, and Whole Life Expo, Presentation, Workshop, and Millennium 2000. And in books such as The New World Order, a series called The Earth Chronicles, okay, which Bobby Hemmett so loosely referred to as if he read it, which begins with the 12th planet by Zecharia Sitchin. All right, he's telling you these people came later, which was first published in 1976, 1967. He's been teaching you since 1967 about these things. Here comes this person in 1976, and you say he copied them. Sound familiar? Y'all do this. People, I mean, not y'all on here, but people do the same shit to me. Motherfucker come to me and teach me my shit back to me. My breakdowns be getting taught back to me, and niggas be like, yo, you got that for me. And they be doing the shit half-assed. I don't know. Hey, it's not too much new information out here, I guess. They got to copy it from somewhere. And if you look at the company that published his books, he's talking about Zecharia Sitchin, you'll see Avon, the same company who publishes the books of Anton Levy. All right? Now, for real, I'm so serious. I heard somebody break down that the Ganesha was 135, and the 135 equals 9, and the 135 is a very important number, and y'all are going to see why. Why don't you say why? What the fuck you talking about? First of all, you look at the Ganesha symbol, you don't see 135 unless you really know where to look. I showed people 135. Most people look at the Ganesha symbol and they see 35. They don't see 135 because they didn't know what the Maya was. All right. And if you've been reading my books, the Book of Rehab explained what the Maya is. Okay. Which is the illusion. Okay. Your Maya, which is a crescent, or the moon, which is the moon goddess. Okay. I broke that down. I said 135 as Ganesha. And I also told people what Ganesha meant. Okay. Before we even looked it up on Google, I cracked the code. I said, damn, we did this shit together. I said, look, the actual breakdown is literally the code I cracked. Because all you had to do was look at the two words, Gana and Aisha. And Gana meant a group of people. And Aisha was saying fire, or Ish, fire, lit up beings, enlightened ones. So a group of enlightened beings, 135. All right. 1 + 3 + 5 = 9. Dr. Malachi Z. York said, when all of this is over, only 9 and you will be with me. All right. As the days press on, I start to figure out more and more what he meant. Because as I was a child thinking about that, I said, it's a lot of people on this planet. How could it only be 9 people left? You know what I'm saying? After this is done. Okay. So I resorted to the math of 1 + 4 + 4 of the 144,000. Maybe he was referring to that. But then it's looking like, okay, I think he actually meant that it's going to be 9 people with him. You understand? Because look at how many people have fallen away from him. You know what I mean? And that's other people who've been there. Of course, the rest of the world got to know who he is. All right. But these people ain't with him. You get me? So boom, 1, 3, 5. I broke it down. I heard somebody break that shit down. And I asked them to build up about the 135. And that's all as far as they went. I said, let me tell you why. Because you got that from me. Like, what are you talking about? There's a lot of things that I'm hearing back now. It's like, okay, it's not that you're stealing information and we want to bogart it. It's just that, for one, the reason why people say cite where you get shit from is so that people can go back and check out where you got it from to see if it holds up. Another reason is because most of the time, if you're just taking an excerpt out of some shit, then wherever you got that shit from holds more information than whatever the fuck you just excerted. That's why we say cite, so they can provide sight for people. But everybody want to cite everybody except Pops. Everybody want to cite everybody except me. When it comes to now, it's been 22 years. Ain't no new information out here. Ain't no code cracking going on out here. The same codes people trying to act like they cracked, they getting it straight out of Dr. York book. All right? If I crack a code and Dr. York cracked that code, I tell you he cracked it. They try to act like they the ones who cracked it. Which is why I cracked these books open and show you where they getting it from. Yet, Faise One done cracked so many codes out here, but now you hearing people say what I'm saying. Because they have to. Because what other codes are being cracked? How long did it take people to realize that when you're saying silence, you're speaking about your mind's eye? Silence. How long did it take people to realize they were saying Merkaba backwards? That it was Bakamir. Because that's how you build up the pyramid from the Ba to the Ka to the Mir. You understand? And who broke down that Bakam was literally a word that meant silence. Bakam, to be silent. All right. And then Ir, which is Or, which is light. You understand? And you had to be silent to receive that light. And the first one who brought that science of the Merkaba was Adiyogi Shiva. And Shiva literally came and was silent, didn't speak when he first showed up. And didn't name himself either. Everybody else called him that. They said that which is not. You understand? There's a lot of things. So I'm teaching people to code break because that's what Malachi York was teaching. You understand? People think it was doctrine. No, it wasn't doctrine. It was a formula. And that formula is like whatever generation you exist in, you can use that. Right knowledge. You feel what I'm saying? Boom. That in the year 1999 AD, all of the high officials and governments are going to gather at the base of the pyramid of Khufu, all right, in Egypt to bring upon the beginning of the New World Order. However, in the Nevada deserts, there is a big hotel where all the Illuminati have their meetings. In the year 1990 AD, on June 6th, they are all going to meet under the pyramid, a pyramid right here in America, not Egypt, because the eagle is now looking in the other direction. He said, refer to the spell of Leviathan 666, the spell of Kingu, scroll number 15. Jordan Maxwell also stated that he studied for 32 years on what he believes Note that the number 32 is equivalent to being a 32nd degree Freemason. In the process of speaking, he said, 3.5 years before the end, there will rise up a great power, a diabolical power, an antichrist, that would help bring in the New World Order. That means around June of this year, 1996. So we have to watch for some powerful leader to raise up. There is also a pastor by the name of Dr. John Hage, who, when speaking of the Antichrist, says the Antichrist will be a man who makes his debut upon the stage of world history with hypnotic charm and charisma. Actually, when you're saying charm, you're actually saying charisma. That's interesting. He will probably come from the European Union. Sounds familiar? He also refers to this Antichrist as the son of Satan, whose plan is for world dominion, consisting of a one-world economic system in which no one can buy nor sell without a mark sanctioned by the Antichrist administration, a one-world government, now being called the One World Order. All of this is explained 10 years after I explained these same facts day in and day out in class to a bunch of people who obviously weren't listening with a sincere heart. They were faithful, but not true. However, now you want to accept what I say. As I explained in other lectures, there are many people who doubt me, so they question me and my followers, the family of the Holy Tabernacle, as to whether what I am teaching and have been teaching is true or a fabrication of my mind. And I have answered them simply by revealing facts. Are you going to say I made it up? I put out over 100 books this year. When did I get the time to make all of this up? Now, if you say I can put out 100 books a year, a holy scripture, which is called the Holy Tablets, and now another scroll about the New World Order, then for those of you who think that I am fabricating all of these things in my head, again, as I have said before, thank you for the compliments. Yet I cannot and will not let you continue to slander and fill the hearts and minds of the people with misconceptions about what I am teaching you. These people, such as Jordan Maxwell, are giving you half truths. This is why I am here to clear it up and give you the facts beyond a shadow of a doubt. In this scroll, I will discuss the year 2000 AD and what to expect in a question and answer form. Questions from people who want to know the facts, people who want the right knowledge, right wisdom, and right understanding, which will lead them to sound right reasoning. Nuwapu. There is no more room for lies. The hourglass is almost empty. We are in the last 3 years. Your Bible says beware of the last 3.5 years. That would mean as of June 1996 until the year 2000 AD. Walk with me on this journey. Who that sound like? Or who I sound like when I say that. As your mind is about to embark upon right knowledge, so factual that no other teacher, preacher, imam, sheikhs, pastor, pontiff, deacon, rabbi, high priest, kohen, etc. can dispute or change. For what? Truth is true. Sawab, kawun, sawab. Why is it that every time you try to convey the message to people, there's always someone in the crowd that will step in and distract? Let's read that again, because it's a question. Why is it that every time you try to convey the message to people, there's always someone in the crowd that will step in and distract the minds of everybody? What are you supposed to do? Now, if you're on point, you already know why I say let's read that again. Okay? I see everything. You're not supposed to do anything. That's their job. The Luciferians have to step in and distract you. Let's read that again. I actually want to read that again just to have fun. You're not supposed to do anything. That's their job. The Luciferians have to step in and distract you. How many people remember my teaching, Agents of Chaos? How many people remember them days on Clubhouse? Right? It's a perfect time. Isn't it always? This is Pops we talking about now. All right? I wouldn't be surprised that a nigga be editing and shit from a whole different dimension. Be like, let me put this shit in here. Some motherfuckers want to talk shit. You know what I mean? This Pops now. We synced up. Now watch this. I had the Agents of Chaos teaching where, I used to go through so many rooms. Damn, them Clubhouse days. Clubhouse is where a lot of people was able to like find me and see what was really going on, because Clubhouse was the app where everybody just got to use their voice. And the most powerful voice on Clubhouse was Faise One. They couldn't deny it. It don't matter what room I walked in. Every time I would go into a room, niggas start putting out disclaimers as soon as they see my name pop up. Faise One is into the chat. All right, y'all, make sure. Hey, look, because people come in and just for the disclaimer, I want y'all to overstand this, because if we niggas get nervous, start shuffling. Y'all remember them days when niggas would boom the whole room just because they room got taken over on accident? Because people started asking me questions about things that they really wanted answers to, and them niggas couldn't answer shit. Y'all remember them rooms where people would call me in to debate, and I'd debate by asking questions and shut the whole system down, and it'd glitch. Y'all remember them days? Y'all remember them days where they didn't want to tell me? People like Sophia Stewart and Kanye would come on. Everybody would sneak over and do a room. They wouldn't even promote it because it was one person they didn't want there, which was who? Faise One. Y'all remember the rooms where I went head to head with the medicinal practitioners, the whole hospital medicine community who was trying to tear down Dr. Sebi, and I took on their whole fleet by myself. And listen, that whole room, like 4,000 people in it, they didn't delete nobody, that whole room. I was the first person to get the boot. Everybody else got sent to the audience. What did I do? I stood on truth. I said, look, I just want to ask you a question. Which disease isn't associated with inflammation? All right. And then they try to attack him, say Dr. Sebi was trying to put out a placebo, pill, or a sugar pill is what one of the doctors called it. And notice that all them doctors, if you were there, if you witnessed that, if you didn't, I'm telling you, all of those doctors were melanin dominant doctors. It was almost as if all of them got called up and said, go and do a room on Dr. Sebi. All right, and proved all the vegan people and all his followers wrong in front of a large group of people, right? And of course, they knew that was going to be a big deal. So watch this. The only way they were able to do that was because a lot of the vegan people didn't know the approach that the actual practitioners came from or the things that they knew. I did. You feel what I'm saying? So because I knew what they knew, I knew what they couldn't get away with. Right? So first of all, no, Dr. Sebi never, ever said that he had some sugar pill to cure AIDS or any disease. As a matter of fact, he did what every other doctor did. He treated the disease and offered lifestyle alterations. You understand? So no, he never gave nobody no pill and said this gonna fix it. He always spoke about how you would have to change your whole lifestyle around and do things you probably wouldn't be comfortable with, like fasting and changing your diet and all this other stuff. Okay, but watch this. A lot of people from the vegan community are under the impression that the doctors don't tell people to change their lifestyle. They do. The doctors will tell you not to eat certain foods and stay away from salts and dairy and with asthma and all this other stuff. So they do advise lifestyle alterations or dietary alterations, just like Dr. Sebi did. Everything that makes somebody a doctor in this modern day medicine field, Dr. Sebi qualified for. You understand? Another thing that they was trying to say, they try to say a lot of shit, right? They say he made up the chemical affinity shit. I said, no, he didn't. That's literally some shit that comes from physics. And we had that whole breakdown. And I dog walked a lot of these people. So I remember them days, though, because it got to the point where I would go into a room, and because people saw that I was in the room, they would come into the room just to distract people from me. It wasn't even about, they had nothing to offer to any of the conversations, but they would come in just to distract people because my voice would carry. You understand? Listen, there's another book that I'm working on right now to be coming out soon. It's called How to Clone. In that book, I speak about the power of the orator. You understand? We're not orators for no reason. If that's not your power, listen. That don't mean be jealous of me or envious of me or have hatred toward me. Okay? This is not a mistake, though. It's not a mistake that I can say truth is truth and it carries, and you can say truth is truth and people say speak up. You know what I'm saying? No, I project. It's something that comes from us because, first of all, there's a conviction that has to be present when you convict. Maybe I should say that again. There's a conviction that has to be present when you convict. Listen, the person spoke about charisma, speaking out there was going to be a leader. All leaders must have some type of charisma. You understand? All MCs must be able to move a crowd in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Pastors, reverends, imams, you have to be able to use that tool, that tune, which is your voice, as an orator. Listen, orator, or. What's the first thing you hear? Or, which is light. All right? And people say, what about the ator? All right? If you were there when I broke down the elevators, I showed you how Andre 3000 with the elevator song, okay, linked up to the New Blue Sun and linked up to the Green Light Movement. If you know the Green Light Movement, I announced it with the science of the Green Light back in November 2023, which everybody was calling the 7th year. Listen, November, which is the 9th month. And if you've been walking with me, I told you what? September was the 7th month. People say, that don't make sense. I thought the 9th month was September. You know what I'm saying? I thought the 7th month was July. No, Julius Caesar and Augustus Caesar is where you get confused at. Okay, because those people were never supposed to be added in. The Roman year didn't even have them in there. Okay, they just wanted to venerate them with those months. In all actuality, the 7th month is September. All right, with me, which makes the novum, okay, the 9th month, which is November. You with me? So what did I tell you? I said, don't you think it's interesting that Brother Polite, okay, whose name also was Michael, pay attention, Michael Nowak, all right, who called himself Brother Polite. And I told you what the Polite was when the Po gave you the word dust, and Po also gave you poor. When niggas say they Po, it was poor, and poor was speaking about less, okay, or depleted, okay, and I said light, a lesser light, because it was a path that he chose. He could have continued on in right knowledge, but he said he's going to do his own thing, and he made the error that Isaiah spoke about when he said, I'm going to build my kingdom above this person's kingdom, yet, but you did no such thing. You understand? And I said, don't you think it's interesting that everybody was talking about the 7 years that he got in the 7th month of the 7th year, all right, on September 7th, which is September 7th month, all right? Now, you can continue to say 7th month is July, but when I'm showing you how to break these codes, you should be able to figure out why certain things need to be figured out in order for you to get why certain things happen at certain times. That was literally 777 at the same time or around the same time. People were having a conversation of Rashad Jamal. Remember, they were claiming him as a victor over Dr. York. A lot of his followers was running around slinging some plastic swords. I couldn't really see what they were made of, right? Talking about he was going to be the one to show that he was the real one and he was the one who really had the ethers and da-da-da-da, and he was going to shut all the fakeness down. And then they came through and said, what, 16 years, which is 1 + 6, listen, equals 7, all right? Now, remember when I told you Revelation, what, 16:7? I said, go and read Revelation 16:7. And when you read it, you read about righteousness and judgment. And they said all the judgment would be true and righteous. Okay? I said, do y'all think that's a coincidence that when you're saying the word judgment, you're using the scales? And the scales is the justice system. And this 16 years for Rashad and 7 years for Michael or Brother Polite is literally speaking about justice being served. And they said that they were righteous and justice. And I even pointed out that Brother Polite said on record that Dr. York told him what to name his daughter, okay? And the word Ma'at was present. You understand? And Ma'at was what true and righteous was saying. True and righteous. Truth is truth. You with me? So if you didn't look at September and see the 7, you would have missed that. But it was literally 777, which meant all that was exactly like I said, God was present, because the number of God, even according to the biblical scripture, was 777, a repetition of 7. Okay? Now, interestingly enough, the 7 hides with the 9, or hides behind the 9. Are you with me? I hope y'all ain't missing none of this, because again, I came in November, on the 6th of November, right? And came out with the science of the green light. November 9. Okay, November 14th, Andre came out with an announcement and said, I'm coming out with an album. And the album is called New Blue Sun. And when you saw that album as he was promoting it, which came November 17th, he had on all green. Remember, he had on all green. After I announced the science of the green light and the green light movement, and told everybody go and get green lights and fill them in their home. And in the rehab book that came out October 1st, before November, I spoke about a new blue sun. Are you with me? Except I didn't say the word sun. I said the word sound. If you read my books, you know what I'm talking about. I literally put it there. So how does this tie in? Another thing, when we speak, we don't forget what we say if we have something to say, because it's called 360 teaching. If you've been walking with me, I've been saying that for 5, 6, 7 years, teaching about 360. Matter of fact, when I was in high school, I taught 360 teaching. It means you take somebody and you walk them in a circle, okay, to the point where people think, well, if I walked in a circle, I didn't go anywhere. Well, you don't know what it means to travel. That by the time we would have covered all this ground, you come back to this point, you're no longer the same person. All right. Your journey changed you. You brought on more information and affirmation that you will be able to utilize. So you're no longer the same person that you were before you began your travels. You with me? But it'll only confuse the confused. So what is the point? Orators, or light. I spoke about the green light. The green light movement came out. Now, if you were to look at the chakra system, is the green color associated with the throat or not? No, it's the blue color. So before the blue color could come out, which is the orator's color, and what did Malachi York say? All right, it's written right here. 30 years to raise the 144,000, which I refer to as the Alamuklasina, right? The purified ones. You with me? Remember, I didn't have this book. This book was literally brought to me by one of my brothers because he saw it in some Goodwill shop store. You with me? The purified ones. What was in my book, Rehab, about the purified ones? What did I break down to you about not only Travis Scott, okay, having a concert? Okay, remember Travis Scott was supposed to have a concert where? At Giza Pyramids. The pyramids of Giza, the Great Pyramids. Yet they canceled it. But he was supposed to have that concert, and his announcement of that concert, which was supposed to be of the album Utopia, pay attention, all right, came around the same time I announced that I would be dropping the Michael album on 9/11. Y'all remember that? If you don't remember, I'm reminding you now. Right? So the Michael album was prepared to be dropped 9/11, which it did, along with the Source music video. Correct? Okay, in the Michael album, I had a song called Pocket Rocket, where I mentioned Travis Scott. You with me? Now, watch this. Why Utopia? And why did he have the images with him and it was Giza Pyramids? I said, y'all listening to what I'm showing you? I spoke about the rising sun. I said, look, Tama Ray, the time of Ray. I broke down what that meant. I told people in the what's going on, what to look out for. Remember the what's going on teaching in the beginning of 2023, February 2023. All right? I said you should be able to pay attention to the Tama Ray words themselves and be able to hear the time of the sun, okay, which is beyond the moon cycle. So I said rising sun, which means that the sun was rising up in frequency. I said raise your frequency. Okay, now a lot of you may have only heard raise your frequency, and it's another thing I'm gonna show you too. Watch this. Raise your frequency as in R-A-I-S-E, your frequency. Okay, but if you listen closely, as I broke down to you how to be able to do, if you study the saying, one who overstands, or a wise one hears one word and overstands two. Remember that when I broke down the Masonic sacreds? That one of our sayings is a wise man, okay, which I say a wise one, to make sure that we factor in the sisters. A wise one hears one word and overstands two. Raise, R-E, all right, apostrophe S. Raise, the sun. The sun is. Raise your frequency, all right? You have the rising sun, and you have to face that rising sun. It's the same thing I've been telling you to do. Listen, remember Sexy Red came out and put her crown out, all right? And remember I told you and reminded you about how Sha'Carri came and did the same thing. And I said, I did a video. I said, we have to have the sisters do this. Okay? We'll know it's time when the sisters bring their crown out. Some of y'all may not get that yet. All right? But we can't have Tama Ray without having Tama to be flipped around as Ma'at, the mother. All right? Or Ma'at Ray, Madre. You say Ma'at Ray, you say Ma'at Ray. And Madre is the mother. You with me? But they want to what? Mute the mother or mute her, mote her. Okay? So that she can't be risen. And I said, no, we're going to face the rising sun, just like the ancestors of ours who were having those songs being sung for a reason. Wade in the what? The water. All right, a lot of people may not know why they told them to wade in the water, because there was a chase that was taking place, and one of the ways that the dogs, the Jan, would lose their scent is if the children knew to wade in the water, okay, which meant to be, when you cross in the river, don't just cross, all right, literally bathe in it, okay, and when you get to the other side, there's no way they could pick up the scent. Wade in the water, children, wade, all right? Remember, what? Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry your ancestors. Those of you who have the ancestors who were prisoners of war were familiar with extraterrestrials and the extraterrestrial crafts, all right? And sometimes they would see those crafts observing what was taking place, right? And they would wonder why there was no assistance. So they would call on those chariots. They said, swing low, sweet chariot, come forth and carry me home. They were literally asking for help. All right. Now, they don't want to tell you that, but those same people who were singing those so-called Negro spirituals, all right, which is just to say what? Dark spirituals, necro, dark, negro, all right, meaning you did not know what they were really saying. Those same ones were Native Americans, and those same Native Americans come from a long line, all right, and I say come from as in we still do, a long line of people who had encounters with extraterrestrial people, called Kachina, who flew around in what were referred to as chariots or thunderbirds. You with me? So they said, swing low, sweet chariot. All right? So all of these songs wade in the water, all right? Reminding you about the mother. You understand? And also sink to show people how to escape the dog. And that dog still chases to this day to bring people into the darkness. And we telling you have to wade in the water. So what does that sound like? Wade in the water. The way of the what? Way of the water, or the waves of the water. And the waves of the water are synced up with the mother's communication system, which is nonverbal. An intuitive communication system. Don't let these people try to hop on the train like they know what they talking about when we speaking about the mother. Don't let these people try to hop on the train like they know what we talking about when we speaking about the matriarch. Because if they know what we talking about, then there are a lot of sisters, all right, plenty sisters that need the platform in this day and time. And we need to stop acting like the sisters have nothing to say just because they don't have to say as much as we say. You with me? What is he saying exactly? Because the communication aspect is nonverbal. It's about what we're not saying. And how would you know what somebody's not saying? You have to pay attention to the cues. All right, go listen to the Ninth Hour album. The what? The Ninth Hour album. Many times in his book, he said already, the hourglass is almost empty. Okay, now why would he say that? Because the hour was not supposed to be 30 minutes. Okay, which is 1970 to 2030. The hour was to 2030. So when you get to the 2000, everybody thinks the world ends. No, that's the end of the devil's rule. Like he said. The end of the Hilal, the end of the moon cycle, the end of the crescent moon, and the end of all these people trying to be the ones who walking around sporting these crescent moons. That's they power would be up. Why? Because there's a newfound power, which was coming from the sun. Now watch this. Again, what's the point? Orators. Now, if the light was green, okay, and I came with the science of the green light, not before breaking down the science of 19 keys or the secret of 19 keys. All right. And bringing around the Beyonce exposed and Sexy Red sacrificed. Why were all of these teachers being put out? For what reason? Now, if you were to look at it, you think, oh, he said Sexy Red sacrificed. She must be sacrificed. It's not about her. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he says Beyonce exposed. He must be. It's not about Beyonce. Oh, he said 19 keys. What's your issue with 19 keys? Simpletons. It's not about the names when you see the names. Do I need to write it on my forehead? When you see the names, that's the light in the distance that needs to go off for people to come. Okay? When you hear the names, when you see the names, it's not about the names. It's not about the people. You have to constantly remind people of that. Why? Because they're fanatics. They're fans. And as long as you walk in Pan's order, all right, then you cannot see the true light. The true light is, why was 19 Keys named Jabril Muhammad? Does he know? And I explained it in 19 Keys Exposed. But he may have seen the video, the cover is like, oh, here go another motherfucker trying to expose me. You know what I mean? No, all the other people, What's the other bro? There's a few niggas in their videos that be exposing these niggas. That's them. That's their thing to do. You got to worry about them. They the ones who try to go and get all these files and uncover this shit. You know what I mean? And they be having some shit that niggas be nervous about and just hope that people don't see. That's fine. For me, people will see it, for one. And for two, people need to see it because there are stars in this reality. Pay attention. All right? That hold position for a reason. Orators. If you come with a particular job, all right, as a prayer warrior, as a speaker, a teacher, whatever you want to call yourself, a leader, a guru, you will at one point in your life have to learn what it means to charm, all right, or have charisma. You go look up the etymology of charisma and you'll see what I'm saying, all right, which is why I kept teaching people what? No, real warlock, not the card reader, meaning we really know how to go to war with tones. We really know that people say, why is he screaming? Let me tell you something. If me screaming is annoying you, leave. People say, why do you scream when you're teaching? Yo, cover your ears. You must not know how loud the devil is. You must not know how loud the illusion is. You must not know how loud even your mind is. That you will have to ask me to be quiet so you can hear whatever you thought was so important that would need to silence me or to bring a tone down any octave if I hadn't chosen to bring it down myself. You're supposed to be uncomfortable coming in. If we got 167 people on here, don't you think it's one or two people that might have said at one point in time, yo, he's yelling, but they had to adjust to the new sound? Are you with me? A new blue sound where you're used to the noise that comes from a chaotic realm, but you don't tell them to be silent. You're used to the noise that come from people that's yelling and not saying anything. But you don't walk into church and ask them, why are you so loud? But why are they so loud? And they ain't saying nothing. So then the one that comes through and screams, he has to scream. But you want to know why? Because he has to reach other, octaves. And I kept telling you to pay attention to the word octave as I even put it in my books. I said, watch, you'll know what octave means one day because oct is right there. Why is October the 10th month and not the 8th? Are you with me? Originally, it was the 8th. Do y'all hear me? So we're able to reach certain octaves. And of those 8 necessary octaves that need to be reached on each divine side of a pyramid, that is you. And who explained to you, I said there are actually 8 size of a pyramid, but you only see it with a certain light shining during a solstice. You understand? If not, then you wouldn't know that there's a dark, a light, a dark, a light, a dark, a light, a dark, a light. And those are the aspects of the self that create you, which means if I say there's an element of air, then there's an element of not air. If there's an element of fire, then there's an element of not fire. If there's an element of water, then there's an element of not water. If there's an element of earth, then there's an element of not earth. That's why Sheba, who came through to teach what I'm teaching you now first, all right, means that which is not. But people forgot about that which is not. Why? Because when you see what you're looking at right now, you see a book with words. All right. Do you also see what would be if there was no light to show you this reflection? Do you see your whole reality? When you're looking at a positive, do you also take into account the negative? When you're looking at a negative, do you also take into account the positive? Are you with me? Orator. We're supposed to hit multiple octaves. Okay? So he didn't say purified one. He said purified ones. 144,000 purified ones. If you go and read Revelation chapter 14, okay, where it speaks about the 144,000, it comes in talking about a song. Listen, S-O-N-G, song. All right? S-O-N, S-U-N. All right? S-O-U-N-D. Sonic is sound. Sun, S-U-N. Okay? They were singing a what? A new song. Or a song as if it were a new song. So which one of the points, the cycles, or the chakras, or the loops have to be active in order for these people who were said to be pure? By the way, Revelation chapter 14, Verse 4, and these were they which were not yet defiled with women, for they are the virgins. Virgin was saying pure. Okay? Which color would have had to been active in order for them to stand on top of Mount Zion, all right, and utter that new song? It would have been the throat chakra, which is the Vishuddha, all right, which means pure. Go look it up. You with me? So, again, November 9, I came through and said green light movement has begun. Okay? So we're supposed to be taking this green light movement up to a very specific point. I have only not set the point yet. But if you've been paying attention, you should know exactly when the blue light is coming. You should be able to know exactly when the blue light will be coming. And when it comes, I will let you know literally, all right, it's time to throw out the green lights and get your blue light. It'll happen quickly. And I also told you about the quickening. So a lot of this stuff got to speed up in order for this to be done the proper way. So watch this. In the teachings, what was it? Which one was it that I broke down the elevators with Andre? It might not have been a green light. I can't remember exactly. It was one of the young elder teachers. It might have been the Illuminati one. I can't remember. Right? But one of those teachings, I broke down the elevators song. Okay? And the music video. And I explained to you that in the elevators music video with Andre 3000, okay, and Big Boy, they were going to Tamaray. All right? Go watch it again. They were on their way to Tamaray. They were taking people to Tamaray. And you saw the pyramids. Okay? What did elevator mean? El is God in Hebrew. Go look it up. Leb is heart. All right? In Hebrew. Go look it up. And Tara means star. Go look it up. Elev-Tara or elevatora. All right? Now, a Torah or a Tara means a crown. Are you with me? So watch this. If you say God, heart, crown, that's what needed to be activated in order to produce what? This type of sound that elevates one or elevates you. You with me? So that song Elevators came out, what was that, 1990 something, 1996? Interestingly enough. It came out in 1996, okay? And they were on the way to Tamaray in the song. And speaking about a time of Ray. And what was he saying? Me and you. Not just one person, me and you had to elevate to be the what? 144,000. Do y'all get what I'm explaining to you? So then they come out with a movie last year. They cloned Tyrone. All right? And the main character's name was Fontaine. Fontaine. Fountain. Water. Listen. Fontaine. Water. And it was all about cloning. What's my new book coming? How to Clone. It's all about cloning. I've been working on that book for a while. Okay? And who they have singing in it? Erykah Badu. And who was dating Erykah Badu? Andre 3000. And what place did they say they had to go to in order to get out of Babylon? All right? In the movie, they said they had to go to a church that was called Mount Zion. Okay? What's another word for Mount Zion? Mount Zion. Go look it up. And if you find Mount Zion as that church, okay, you'll find Mount Zion as that mount that they had to meet on. Who had to meet on? The 144,000. And they said that the big man was going to lead the way. And that big man was none other than Jesus Christ. In the movie that even a spiritual community came out to make videos about. Did you miss that? They said that a specific person will lead the way. Why is that important? Because the 144,000 were not on top of that mountain by themselves. They were in the company of a very specific being called the Lamb. The Lamb. Now, before the year let out, I came out with what? An album, The Ninth Hour, starting out with that cue. I hope you don't worry about tomorrow. I'll be in your corner. Listen, I keep telling you, everything I do is coded. In times where you might forget your lines and you're searching for a cue, I will root for you. It don't matter what you do. I approve of you, you. You through the dark, you through the light, even when you even when you bruising your heart, losing your sight, right? Hold me to this, no need to trip. I'll be in your corner. No, you see me going up. Listen, dropping these 3-pointers from midnight to the dawn dust. Everything I taught you was upon us. They done put some motion on my name. They want me gone, love. Say I call myself the son of man. I'm just like, when? They're the last thing I'll claim. I came from God. I was sent. Is that what they saying? They figured if they killed me, that's the end. Is that what they plan? Did it work for them with Tupac? Did it work for them with Malcolm? Did they factor in the possible reincarnation outcome? Right? It's a whole code. I'll be in your corner. A cue, a corner. You see me going up. When you forget your lines. Listen. Look at the cover of the 9th Hour album and you'll see what that song is saying. You with me? I know it isn't fair sometimes. And I know you want me there sometimes. Listen, you'll hear me in the air sometimes. And when you see a blue bird, know that was me. I'll also send you random messages in packs of 3. You feel what I'm saying? And when you lucid dream, I said you can ask for me. I'll appear in a white robe like the master's green light. Listen, I said the color blue and I said the color green. Green light glowing around me. We can laugh and sing. I won't be able to cry. But if I have to, I'll stay by your side. Why is he saying that? Because after you get up there on Mount Zion, which is Zion, which means heaven, okay, there is no more sorrow. There's no more death. Okay, all the former things are gone. You will be looking at, from that point, a new heaven and a new earth. Now, your feet should already be starting to be planted because we're in the green light movement, which is right there at the heart chakra. All right? So you already on top of the mount with your feet planted. Revelation chapter 14. And there's somebody there with you. You may not want to acknowledge him as a lamb. And he's saying what the song is. You may not get it yet, but he told you what it was. He even said, look, pay attention. Andre 3000 is coming in all green with a flute. All right? And this is speaking about music. Flute. I also told you, remember, the harpers, the sound of the harpers harping. I heard the sound of the harpers harping. He said a harp ain't a flute. Yeah, a harp wouldn't be a flute, but did you listen to Close Encounters? The teaching I did? Did you watch the Close Encounters of the Third Kind movie? And did you couple it with what I told you to couple it with, which was the Ariel school phenomenon? Ariel school phenomenon. All right? Where one of the little girls said the craft sound like a what? Sound like somebody playing a flute. Go make me a truth teller. Go find it. Said sound like someone was playing a flute. You understand? Music. He said, I wanted to make a rap album, but this is all I could do, or this is all I could make, or I wound up doing this. And he plays the flute. Why was he wearing all green? Why? And why is Andre 3000 a Nubian? And if you don't know what a Nubian is, a Nubian is a direct student of Dr. Malachi Z. York. If you did not know that, now you know. And one of the brothers who just did a call with me reminded me of something. He said, yo, I was looking through the holy tablets and I saw Andre 3000 in it. All right. This came days after Mrs. Faise said the same thing. Reminded me of the same thing. And we on a call and I literally told him, I said, we was just talking about that. All right. If you did not know, Erykah Badu used to come to Tamaray. I was too young to even remember her in it, or see her in it, I didn't even know who I was looking at. Right? But my mama met Andre 3000 on Tamaray. You understand? And she said when she saw him, she said he was going through something with Erykah, and she said he just looked so drained. And she said she went up to him and just hugged him. And everybody thought they knew each other, how they just like stood in the middle of the room hugging each other and rocking. Right? But something was going on. But she said he just looked. Anyway, y'all know how I go. Right? But she met him there. You feel what I'm saying? How is that important? Why is that important? Andre is one of us. Been one of us. Been one of ours. Hidden right in plain sight. Music Soul Child is one of ours. Plain sight. Carmen, plain sight. Nas, plain sight. I mean, does it take a rocket scientist? Most Def, plain sight. You know what I mean? At one point in time, Jay-Z, plain sight. You want to know who else? 21 Savage. At one point in time, he was there. He was number 3 years older than me. His mama, Heather, Dr. Amsu, all of them was on Tamaray. Now, how he went from Tamaray, Nuwapian to what we looking at now, I don't know. I don't know. Shit, money, I guess. I don't fucking know. But he was on Tamaray. You feel what I'm saying? Papoose, MF Doom, India Irie, Twista, African Bambaataa. It was a lot of motherfuckers who was with us. You know what I mean? And a lot of them still are. But they don't know that it's okay, I guess, to come out and fight on behalf of that very important name for a very important time. All right. Orators. All right? If you are on top of that mountain singing that song as if it were a new song, what does that mean? That means it's not new, but we're singing it as if it is. Okay? Then you will be a part of whatever that explosion was, okay? And witness whatever that explosion was that took place after they sang that song. They said they heard what sounded like thunder resounding, trumpets going off. You will bring on that sound. And they said at that point, those people would be redeemed from the earth for a very specific reason, though. So that those who took on that transformation, would they themselves be also able to affect however many 10,000 people they would need to affect individually, just because their centers have been opened up to that point. And so I asked one of the brothers about 2 months ago, who has gone beyond the green light? He said, a lot of people have. I said, who? And I said, who went beyond the green light movement? You understand? In all actuality, it has not happened. As a matter of fact, people haven't even grasped the green light fully. Now, I could easily start with the blue light right now. I could easily do it. Okay? But I know there needs to be more time for people to grasp it. I know there needs to be more time for people to understand what and why that green light movement was brought forth. That it wasn't just because I like the color green. I think it's pretty. Or I wouldn't be already talking to you about the blue light coming. You with me? He said, well, Dan, we just started the green light. Listen, this is a quickening. Go read Ephesians chapter 2. You with me? And if you want to know what the green light is, I see you. Type in the science of the green light. Science of the green light. Phase 1. Young Elder on YouTube. Type in Science of the Green Light Phase 1. It'll come up. You with me? And you have to listen to that teaching. It's about 2 hours long, and I break down all of it. Okay? So as orators, you are people who have the ability to pierce through this darkness with your voice. Okay? What does that mean? It means that the same way we, as human beings, are composed of 70% water. 70 to 75% water. All right? Which means that darkness, which is that empty space, which is another way of saying dormant genes, okay, that is inside of us, can be activated through a science that is referred to as sonoluminescence. Sonoluminescence. And I broke down sonoluminescence like you never heard it before. All right? How can I say that? Because there are 3 words in the word sonoluminescence. Okay? Sono is what? Sun, sound. Sono, sonic. Sono, and then you have lumen. Lumen means what? Opening. And lumen also means light. All right? Pay attention. And then essence. So through sonoluminescence, which is a sacred that I broke down in the book Rehab as the true sound. Stay with me. Because you have the true light and you have the true sound. Who can do it other than who can do it? All right? With sonoluminescence, it is literally possible to create a sound or a tone, okay, that is intensified and directed and focused enough that it causes for gaseous cavities to open up in whatever the water is or whatever liquid is, okay, until the point of cavitation, which means that the pressure that is around whatever that gaseous cavity is starts to become strong or proves to be strong and pushes in on whatever that bubble is, all right? And from that implosion, because of how quickly that implosion takes place, there's an explosion of light. This is called sonoluminescence, okay? So when you hum, all right, as I broken down and taught on the Young Elders show, all right, when we do our classes there, when you hum, you can literally heal parts of your body. When you hum and focus on the chakras, the senses of the chakras, guess what happens? In a place, listen, that is dark, listen, and filled with water, listen, and you hum, pay attention, and send your focus where energy goes, attention flows, where attention goes, energy flows, to the root chakra. Can't you unlock it? Pow. You can home. That's why I said ET will know when I'm calling, because you will be able to phone home. You know my voice. ET. All of you ET. What is ET? It's just short for elect. All right? It's short for Elliot also. Elliot. Remember the movie? Elliot. Elite. Elite. L-light. Those of you who are walking after what? This particular L. If you got the book, How to Speak Elite. All right? L-light. Okay, all of you who are elect and wanted to learn how to electrify yourselves, you found your way. Look at where you are. You could be anywhere right now, but you right here. Why? Because has anybody explained sonoluminescence as it pertains to meditation? And did anybody tell you that instead of doing, that if you wanted to speed up the intensity of that activation, all right, that you would have to literally take that one wave, all right, and cause it to be more frequent, which means raise your frequency. So you're no longer doing, what you're doing now is, listen, if you were to do what I just did for 30 seconds, you'll understand. But did you hear that before this day? No, because they were doing, it's a slower world before today. But if you're still doing, that's slow. You have to speed up. There's a warping that takes place. The sound literally sounds like if you said, make a warp sound. This is what is referred to as a binaural beat. All right. If I'm making that up, then why do I have a meditation tape that I programmed and produced myself called the Inner Sense meditation tape? Because in that darkness that is called our body, that has empty space, which is referred to as dormant genes. All right. You can send waves of sound in ordered motion or ordered movement. This is what it's referred to as ordered movement. Okay. Literally, you're saying, I'm going to order the movement of these molecules, all right, in a particular direction. So I'm humming, for one, to create the sound. All right. From that sound, I can cause light. And from that light, I cause activations that come with that light. So a while ago, you were doing the root activations and didn't know it. A while ago, you were doing the sacral activations and didn't know it. And I said, raise your frequency. I said, what do you mean? I said, I gave you a diagram. I said, look, here go the diagram. All you have to do is study the diagram and you will know what I'm doing. You will be able to see what I'm doing when I do it. All right. I said, no, there aren't 7 chakras. There are 9. How many people done heard people come out and say that now? Can they explain it? All right. Because why is there a ground chakra? Because there's a root chakra. And you can't have roots without the ground. That's in my book, How to Love Again. You cannot have root without the ground. But why is there a ground? Because the word hum, listen, the word hum, pay attention, means ground. Go look it up. Hum means ground. All right? So if I say hum, hum, hume, all right, and I say the word mean, which is meme, humeme, what does the word mean in Arabic? It means from. Pay attention and walk. All right? If I say a humeme, that means you're from who? Who meme? Who? Who is who? Who, H-U, go look this up, is none other than the source of all creation. Ashhadu alla ilaha illallah, come in the name of the source. All right? Pay attention. And if you also say mean or meme, you're saying hume and meme from the ground. Okay? So in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, what do we say? We formed man out of the darkness, out of the dust of the ground, the hume. All right? Then you said what? We breathe into him the spirit of life, if y'all remember. And what happened? He became a living soul. He became Eve, all right, which is Hawa. Hawa, which is Hayya, and Hayya means life. Okay? So we breathe life into him, spirit into him. He become a living soul. And what is Eve? If you were to look at the breakdown of Gab and Nut, there's somebody in the center called Shu. Okay? And when you say the word Shu, what does it sound like? All right? If you walk, all right, in front of the street and you saw a car coming out of nowhere and it just nearly hit you, you step there, you say Shu, and you blow wind. Okay? A lot of people create sounds and don't even know that they're creating the sounds. You go back to the basic sound of the universe when you have to figure out what you're about to say next. You say, I was gonna, he said, we don't meditate. We don't do all that devilish meditate, but every time they gotta figure some shit out, they meditate. You know what I'm saying? I say in the name of Jesus, hand me that, turn the, goddamn, you just meditated. No, I didn't. You lied. You just meditated. You with me? Right. So you say hum, which is the ground, and you say an. So what is an? Human is what I'm breaking down. Hum, an. From the ground, hum, to an. I dare you to go look up if an is nut, which is the sky, which is the heavens. I dare you to go look it up. To find that your whole purpose as humans was found in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, which is 2 plus 7, which equals 9. You with me? So human, humming from the ground on up to the heavens. That was your journey. Okay, so then let's look at this diagram. Or this living gram is what we're going to start calling this. You know what I mean? Because the death is over. What does it say? New heaven at the top. What does it say? Heaven in the center. Why does it say heaven in the center? Because before you were able to pass through that vault, which is the rakia, all right, or the firmament, okay, to be standing there in the green light, in and on the green light, in the new heaven and the new earth, reality, heaven to whoever is behind us or left behind. Remember, they had a eclipse last year, October 14th, right? Around the time that everybody was scared about the Amber Alert shit. The red light, Amber Alert. I said, all you gotta do is pay attention. How everybody started calling it Amber Alert, an emergency. And I said, look, in the How to Fight COVID and Win book, I told you what emergency meant. Emerge and see. Anytime there's a so-called emergency, that's the time for you to emerge and see what's really going on. Emerge, meaning not to be hidden, all right, to come into view so that you could truly see what's happening. Everybody was focused on all of the distractions, saying that they were distractions. I said, how could anybody be telling people that something's a distraction whilst distracting them? And we were on live when it went off. I said, do you see why? You shouldn't listen to these people any longer. They have no idea what they're talking about or what's going on because they are left behind. Slowly but surely, that reality, well, actually it was quickly, that reality unwound when they came out with the Ring of Fire eclipse story. And remember, they said, don't look at it. Okay, we weren't supposed to go outside and watch it. Okay, somebody even asked me, yo, do you think we should look directly at it? I said, listen, I tried to even look toward it, and I don't think it's smart. I don't think it's smart to look directly at the shit. I don't know what anybody's talking about. It's not like just staring at the sun normally. You know what I mean? I don't think that they would spend thousands of years telling people, you know what I mean, not to look directly into an eclipse, a solar eclipse. You know what I mean? I don't think they would do that for no reason. Right? But I was out there. I had my shades on, and I saw it, and I recorded it with the phone. Okay? So there was a Ring of Fire eclipse. What's my point? Eclipse is a word that means left behind. Go look it up. The etymology of eclipse means left behind. And I also told you, pay attention to the fact that the project was called APEP. All right? That they were supposed to be doing around the time where they were sending out 3 rockets into the ionosphere to test for atmospheric perturbations. What is they were calling it? APEP, atmospheric perturbations. Some atmosphere, some other shit. I don't remember. I never looked at some eclipse, something. I think it was atmospheric perturbations, eclipse project. I can't remember. I got to go back and look at the shit. But it was APEP. And they not even hiding it. I said, and go look at the movie Left Behind. It just came out. I think it was that same year, 2023. And they had 3 people on the cover and a big fire like the sun. I said, those are the 3 rockets right there. What's my point? I was breaking down, showing people how to crack the code even then. So if you're left behind, here's the point. Why do they call it APEP? Because APEP's job is to swallow up the age of the sun and bring people back into the age of darkness. Remember, I went up against people like Merkaba 13 and the rest of them when they was telling people, oh, Satan is just us and da-da-da-da, and, you know, we need to be with the Baphomet and all that other stuff. And I did the whole teaching, and I said, look, just pay attention. If you if you just look, like when you see my profile picture, you see my eyes are glowing with a bright white light, right? Somehow, with all the information and intellect and information that I've acquired over my 25 years being here, I have not resorted to blacking out my eyes. I put the image of Merkaba 13 next to my image with the eyes. He had the black eyes, and I had the lit up eyes. I said, which one just appears demonic? If you didn't listen, without thinking too deep into some shit, when you look right at it, what do you see? Now, people would have a point. If I myself have never encountered demons, actual interdimensional beings, but I have, which shows me either these people haven't, because TikTok knowledge don't make you a guru. YouTube experience don't mean you've been in that field as a practitioner or warlock or witch or adept or whatever you want to call yourself, a prayer warrior. YouTube won't do it for you. You got to actually be in that field to have that shit on you and in you. Demons have black eyes or they have red eyes. I've seen these beings. I've been in an experience where it was a Caucasian lady. Half of her face turned, like her whole left side of her face turned dark, and her left eye turned pitch black. And soon as I looked into her eye, I was frozen. I couldn't move. I had to literally snatch myself away from her gaze. Right? What's the point there? The point there is all this allegory, esoteric shit is why people are still left behind. You know what I'm saying? You sound like a Christian. No, you should stop talking. You should listen more. You understand? And then the question would be, if I sound like a Christian, what would take away from the truth about demons having black eyes? How could it take away from the truth about demons having black eyes? You sound like a Christian. No, you sound like a devil. Because the people who say you sound like a Christian have been led astray by Bobby Hemmett, have been led astray by Brother Panic, have been led astray by Merkaba 13, and the rest of the fallen ones. These elves who move around this same darky, ooky, gooey frequency, who anytime you even mention something close to Jesus, it's like their whole spine come out of alignment. Bobby Hemmett was not the truth. And that's why I knew. It's like, there it goes. Like, how I know? Because we can spot you a million miles away. You all been cursed with the same thing. Ignorance. Ignorance. It is your ignorance. Ignorant don't, I'm not calling you stupid. I'm saying you're choosing to ignore the truth. You understand? What if I was an atheist? Don't demons still have black eyes? What if I was a Muslim? Don't demons still have black eyes? What if I was a Bobby Hemmettite? Don't demons still have black? You don't know. Because again, a YouTube student of Bobby Hemmett could never. Y'all haven't seen what we've seen. You couldn't get out there. Again, I told you, that's how I know. Didn't nobody see shit in Miami. They didn't see nothing. They didn't see nothing. I done seen some shit when I was 4 years old in my bedroom that had me trying to figure out, do I even need this bedroom? You know what I mean? I saw stuff when I was 3 years old. My Umi literally can bear witness to this. My mother can bear witness to this. As a 3-year-old, there was a black dog that used to haunt me. Used to come and try to fuck with me as a 3-year-old to try to instill fear in me. All right? And it sat in my windowsill every night. And I used to tell my Umi I didn't want to go upstairs to my room because there's a dog in my window. My Umi got tired of me saying that, got tired of me sleeping in her room, and was like, look, she said, we going up there now. And we went up there, and she said, is it right there? I said, yeah, I wouldn't even come in the room. She walked over to the window. She pushed the dog out. Could she see the dog? Hell no. But she reached her arms forth and pushed the dog. The dog fell out the window. And she asked me, said, is he still there? No, he's gone. And I was able to go in the room. I remember the red eyes on that dog. I remember the eerie stare that being had in my direction. I remember this stuff. You with me? I seen red eyes. I seen a cat-like being under my bed. I was 4 years old, laying on my floor. Some type of, everything is dark. Some type of purple eye, cat-like being started to poke his face out. Bro, I've been trapped before. Have you ever experienced being trapped in a reality while being chased by demons whose whole job is to lay one finger on you? That if they can just touch you, all right, then they can prolong your stay in that reality. You got to get off YouTube and you got to get in that field. You with me? That's why y'all think duality is the end all be all. That's why you think demons is only within, which is a fucking oxymoron. And it's two different classes. Duality and correspondence are two different things. They put a hex on y'all niggas with that duality shit, making y'all think duality was as above, so below. Now, who was it as a 22-year-old that had to come out with a whole class called Baphomet is out of order 3 years ago to remind people that a pentagram can't be as above, so below? Give me a hot second. There's always one. There's always somebody. Every nigga's named Anthony Bilbert. We'll find this shit real quick. Every nigga's with the last name Crawford. Talking about some Bobby damn Hemmett. I'm so mad at Bobby Hemmett. I'm so mad. I got so many bones to pick with Hermit. It's not even funny. Because, like, bro, what? And again, Bobby Hermit was in the class learning from Dr. York. Trying to get rides to go listen to Dr. York teach. How he went from doing that to coming out talking about just some duality bullshit. I don't know. Listen, that ain't no true student. But again, he came out to speak out against him, so that makes sense. Because, like, you can't talk, you can't speak against Dr. York and then use his shit. All right? Listen, family. If you're a sincere learner, then I'm not doing this, you know what I'm saying, with no sword. If not, this got a big ass sword attached to it. All right? Damn. Okay. Duality. All right? Dual. Okay? So if I were to create an image of something that's dual, I could easily just draw a square with a line in the center. Okay? And this side be darkened and the other side left light. Simple. All right? This is duality. Dual. Okay? So here's what y'all are trying to say. AA SB. All right? Which you only saying one part of it. All right? As above, so below. As below, so above is what you're really supposed to say after that. But that isn't duality. This, as above, so below, equals correspondence, which will look like this. You want to know why? Do I really got to explain why? Because this and this are not the same. They're not the same thing. They're two different things. Two different polarities. Two different charges. Two different beings. Two different purposes. This right here, though, is the same. So let's do it a different way. Let's put the charges. Negative, positive. All right? Negative, positive. Magnetism all day, night. All right? The next day after that, and if you plan the next week. Negative, positive. 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 Okay? So, as above, so below is right here. This the same shit. This ain't the same shit. If you didn't know that, I gotta say it. Duality does not equal as above, so below. Let's do it one more time. Duality. Please tell all of them this. It's a lot of them. Does not equal as above, so below. This is the lock. That's what this is. That's probably why niggas don't know what the fuck it is. This shit been locked. You gotta unlock this shit. This is what is referred to as the law of correspondence. People say, yo, that's not how you spell it. Okay, well, again, I have to put this stuff here so that you can know what's being spoken of. The law of correspondence. All right? Why would I say that? Because it's not just as above, so below. As below, so above. It's also as within, so without. As without, so within. You with me? So if I were to say in and out, okay, as within, so without. As without, so within. These are all supposed to be the negative if they ain't negative. They are supposed to be positive if they are positive. This is a task. This is an existence. This is what is referred to as magnetism. It holds your reality together. All right. You find it present even in the atom. You understand? Okay. Which is the protons, neutrons, and electrons. Okay. Magnetism. Without it, what reality do you have? Negative, positive, dark, light. Okay. That's being. That's what is. This is something that has to be done. So what a lot of people do is they misquote the book of Matthew, okay? Chapter 6, verse 9, okay? I've seen people that claim that they magicians do this. They say, yeah, because the devil and the God is the same thing. You know what I mean? As above, so below is found in Matthew chapter 6, verse 9, okay? Now, they try to make the comparison, which I wonder who they got it from, for the comparison of 6, 9 equals yin yang. Okay, but we'll leave it at that. For negative and positive, because this will be your yin and your yang. Okay, we can find that. That holds up. That ain't even it. That ain't what I was trying to even tell you. That's that ain't even what I wanted to say. That was something totally different. Right? Just make believe that this is the yin and the yang symbol. All right? It can really be, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. All right? So in one of these realities, like this is like a circle. You feel me? And that's a 9. I'm not comfortable. I gotta do it. I can't even, I won't be able to go to rest if I couldn't hit a damn circle. All right, so give me my damn, yeah. All right, there we go. Okay, cool. So this is 6, 9. All right, you got your dark. You feel me? And you got your light. We still on your duality. Okay? So people say, he says, as above, so below. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You know what I'm saying? What is it? Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay, that's where they stop at. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay? First of all, that isn't as above, so below yet. As above, so below doesn't take place until Revelation chapter 21. This was them asking for, in 6:9, Matthew 6:9, asking for Revelation 21, all right, as above, so below. So people misconstrued it to think that because it's Matthew 6:9, as the yin and the yang, that meant as above, so below, which is heaven is like earth. No, heaven ain't on earth. If in Revelation chapter 21, they had to come and say, I make all things what? New. And God came from God out of heaven to fulfill this prayer, all right, which is to bring the law of heaven to the earth world to make everything be like how heaven is. Does that make sense? Okay, so if Bobby, Panic, whoever the fuck said this symbol is the as above, so below symbol, that is false. Because this above right here, all right, would have to be the same shape if I were to take this, which is it pointing upward, which is, imagine that it is, and flip that shit upside down, okay, which would be this. Am I looking at the same shape if it's flipped upside down? Is above still up there? No, above is down here. And the below is up here now. And the below is right here now. Right? As two separate shapes, two separate points. Now, if I draw the hexagon, okay, or the hexagram, okay, and then flip it upside down to make the bottom the top and the top the bottom, is it the same shape? Yes. Somebody lied to you because they brought you the wrong science. They brought you penta, pan, which is also a goat, ta, and ta, penta, is tail. And pan-tail is saying 5 God, which is 5G, which is pentagram. You with me? And if I say pentagram, then I'm saying what? The gram means message, all right, of the 5 God, who is what? Samael. Samael. You with me? He said, but I thought it was a 6 God. It's the 5 God and the 6 God. And I can explain to you how. The 5 is the pentagram that it comes with. If you go and look up this word, Samael, then put Lilith, Samael, Lilith, and then put the word pentagram. All right? You will be able to see that this image has a goat in it. And that goat is none other than Uncle Sam or Samael. Go look it up. All right? Which comes with that 5-pointed star. Why? Because that 5-pointed star was supposed to originally represent the woman. Let me show you. It was supposed to originally represent the woman. Let me show you how deep it gets. As arm, leg, arm, head. All right? Let me show you what you get when you do arm, leg, arm, head. Let's go. Arm, leg, arm, head, right? H, A, L, A, L. Right? Now, I completely fucked up the 5-pointed star that was supposed to be. But you get the damn point. Hey, Lal. All right? I know somebody was like, oh, no, Faded. Yeah, you was right. I ain't gonna kick it. I could have kicked it. I fucked that up. In the middle of it, I said, this shit, I can't even. Where is this at? I can't catch a break. So they gave you Halal and said, no, it's Allah. No, it's Halal. All right? Arm, leg. Okay, that's why. I get it. I get how it happened. I see. Right? So you have Halal. So who is Halal? What is Halal? The word Halal, all right, is the word Hillel, which means crescent moon. Go look it up. So Allah, interestingly enough, is associated with this particular symbol with a 5-pointed star in it. Right? Keep in mind, he's 5 and 6. Okay? So then you have Halal here. Allah. Okay? Halal is also spelled Hayllal. And it is the devil. You understand? So then, why is this symbol an illusionary symbol? I'll tell you why. Because this is a star. All right? And stars cannot be seen on this side of the moon. Because people forget that if you're saying it's a crescent moon, that doesn't mean that the moon really looked like that. That means that there's an eclipse. All right? Or a crescent, or is waning or waxing. That makes it appear as this shape, which is the lit side. Okay? And then you have the unknown side, which is the dark side. Okay? But stars can't sit on this side of the moon. So that is a fallacy, which means that this is an illusionary symbol. Illusion. All right? And I'm going to show you Illa, Zion, Zuin, okay, Ari. Okay, because when you say Illa, you're saying a god. Go look it up. Illa means God, lowercase g. Okay? And Zuin is none other than Sin, which is also called Suin, which is also called Lana, which is also the moon god. Okay? The moon god. So this being came to pervert, okay, with an illusionary mission, just like Iblis had, to pervert the true science of what the star would have represented, which was, all right, this symbol here, all right, which was to say Sabi or Sabi or Sabe, okay, which was to say savvy, all right, which is savvy, which is to say to know. Now, why do all of these tie in? To know what? And why to know? Because just like I explained with the Rosicrucian order, okay, you have your fire, you have your earth, you have your wind, all right, you have your air, and you have your fifth element, which is referred to as spirit. Spirit was this word. In Arabic, it's ruh. In Hebrew, it's ru'ah, which is still ruh, all right, because a lot of people think that this is supposed to be pronounced ch or ka, but it's really more of a H sound, okay? So it's still ruh, all right? And in ancient Kemet, that sound, ruh, was RH, and it meant to know, all right? So what was the fifth element? Knowledge. Knowledge that came from where? The stars. And this was the symbol of the star. Are y'all with me? Okay. It has become perverted. And they took what would have been the knowledge or that spirit, okay, at the top, and they flipped it. All right? So now what would have been at the top as knowledge is at the bottom. So this energy, when charged, this center would have been called what? The crown. Okay? Which would allow for people to know the science of what? The Quran, which is the time. Stay with me. Why is that important? Because even with the Quran, all right, Quran or Quran or Corinne. Some of y'all probably know the name, shouldn't know it. Karen. What did Karen mean? Karen meant what? Pure. All right? Now watch this. Kron. All right? Crown. Corona. You with me? Quran, which had the secret number 19, which was speaking about out of the darkness into the light. You with me? So Quran is the god of time. You with me? Keep in mind about the crown. Because there was a being called Ashira. Ashira. All right? You find her in the Bible. They were constantly telling people to cut down Ashira. Okay? Who is Ashira? Ashira was referred to as a tree or a pole. All right? Sound familiar? There's another story about a tree being cut down. It's called the cherry tree. All right, which is on the Moroccan flag. Okay, which is a red flag with the what? 5-pointed star in the center. That's green, by the way, from red to green. A science that people have forgotten about. More, all right, Morocco, all right, Marrakech, all right, or Mir, Akko. Okay, it's a million, literally a million ways you can spell the words out, and they have different meanings that still tie to the same. Yeah, Morocco to be kingdom of the West. Morocco or Marrakech is also to say the land of God. You understand? So watch this. They said cut down the tree in the land of God, which was the Moroccan flag, all right, or the cherry tree. So the cherry tree was symbolic of the mother or the matriarch. Listen to the word. Mother, mother, ma. Tree, tree. Arc, degree. All right? This degree is a secret degree. You got my book, How to Speak Elite. You already know where I'm going with this. If you don't got the books, you can see how to get them. It's pinned right there. We're about to send out another blast soon. Okay? There's a deodorant brand that's referred to as Secret. Okay? Why? And it's for women. Why? And there's another brand referred to as Degree. Why? And it's for men. Why? And the Degree deodorant is green, which is the color of earth. Right? But this one is the color blue, which is the color of water. All right? Why? Because there is a hidden degree that people who stay on land don't know. Go watch the movie Aquaman. All right? But you have to go into the way of the water to understand it. So what is the way of the water? The degree. That's what an arc is. And what arc are we speaking about in particular? 180 as it's set up on land. Okay? That forms your firmament, as you call it. Okay? But the complete shape would have been what? The circle, full circle. In order for things to come full circle. All right? For you to receive the full 1 through 24-hour point. Okay? Which is how many degrees? 360 degrees. Okay? Stay with me. Because we're still saying Ashira, okay? Which meant a pole or tree, literally. And you have matriarch. Okay? So, this tree was cut down. In the Bible, the tree of Ashira was cut down. Remember the time. Ashira also meant what? Sun. Go look it up. Sun. All right? Ashira is saying the light of the sun. Esh. All right? Aura. All right? Or aura. Ashura. Okay? So you go look this up. This is Sanskrit right here. All right? That means sun. Ashira is speaking about a pole. Do you see where I'm going here? What deals with a sun and a pole? Do you remember the time? There's a word that you get when you crack the code further. Okay? You say A, Ashira. S, Ashira. R, Ashira. Ashir, Esther. And go look up that word. And you will find that it means what? None other than Time. Go look it up. Time. Okay? So, Ashira, Ashura, Esir, time. There's a chapter in the Quran called what? Al-Esir, where it spoke about the time and a game being played and how people had to be saved. Okay, we swear by the time. Esir. Why is that important? Because when we look at the first tool that was used to give the science of the Quran, the corona, the time, okay? That tool was an Ashira, which is a pole, okay? It was referred to as a no moon, okay? No moon. What does this word mean? GNO means no. Go look it up. If anytime I say go look it up, I'm telling you, when they start connecting like that, some people, they just want to believe it. You know what I mean? Or some people don't want to believe it. Neither one. Go look it up. Everybody look it up. No, GNO means to know something. Why is that important? Because we said you will what? Know the truth. And the truth will make you free. You will know the truth, and the truth will help you get out of some particular prison where there's not the full degrees yet, so you can't get out. You get me? That's why people say a firmament. Go look at what the firmament means. It means a vault. It's locked, so you can't get out unless you understand what? Time. And time operates on what? Degrees or arcs. And that original arc came from the mother, which was the Ashira. So the first time you came up with something referred to as the sundial, you had to refer to it as a sundial. Listen, you used Ashira. But somebody came and said, cut down the Ashira, okay? Cut down the cherry tree. Cut down the no moon, okay? So that you could know what was at one point in time referred to as mun or moon. And the reason why they say months is because there was somebody called Tahuti, okay, who was also a god of the what? Moon, who taught people how to tell what? Time. Go look it up. And he came with a pole also. It was referred to as a quill. Okay? Or a pen, as you call it now. And he taught time through something called lunations. Luna. Okay? And did he stop there? No. He said his whole purpose was to bring mankind out of the moon age or the darkness age, out of the darkness into the light. Do you not find that in the Quran? We just read that the other day. Okay? So what's my point here? When we speaking about duality, all right? Left, right, negative, positive. Okay? That's how this realm is held together. And when these beings come through and say, oh, they say what? Evil has to exist here. That is false. Let me tell you how. It says duality. It has to be there. It's just balance. You got to have Jesus and the devil. No, you don't. You don't have to. You don't have to have evil here. You choosing to let it be here. Let me tell you why. Because if you did not know, evil, negative, all right, and negative are not all the same. Evil is speaking about wickedness or a wicked deed or a wicked person, right? That's evil. Negative could be a person who, you know what I'm saying, is fucking negative. They're a downer, you know what I mean? Always rolling their eyes and shit. You know, look, I don't know. I just imagine a motherfucker looking up to the right. Y'all, it's fucking Sharpie. Negative. Why you so fucking negative all the time? Negative. Negatron. Y'all heard it. Okay? But this right here, this shit right here, nigga, this didn't do shit to you. This didn't do nothing to be grouped in with the rest of these motherfuckers. This helps hold your realm together. Now, if you saying we need this, you're right. Very true. If you saying we need this, no, kick his ass out the fucking party. He's a downer. You saying we need this, no, lock their ass up. Get them away from the rest of the people. All right? Now watch this. Good, positive, and positive is not all the same shit either. You got good motherfuckers as always, I don't know, he's just smiling, happy, you know, good people, they do good deeds. Boom. Right? So then you got a positive motherfucker that I just assume they holding up a thumbs up, you know what I mean, some type of way, and, you know, I guess they winking, which is kind of sinister, but they still wink, and it's like, you know, I don't know if we should trust this drawing. That nigga like he up to some bad and he don't know where he at, but he like, hey, look, I'm doing it. He look drunk a little bit. Yeah, I fucked him up, but he's still in a positive mood. Okay, nobody mad at him. But this shit right here, nigga, this didn't do nothing. This didn't do nothing to you. This. So if you saying we need this, then you right. That's correct. Guess what? Without it, we get thrown or imploded into an oblivion that don't even exist yet. Some type of black hole without positive charge. Okay? So yeah, we need that. Hopefully we keep it. This, yeah, we do well with it. I don't know where, listen, I've heard people say, I don't want to live in a world where everything's good. Yo, you should stay here then. The fuck? I want to. What the fuck? Who raised these people? I don't want a world where everything good. That's probably why. That makes sense. Damn. So, okay. So, what? Do people realize what they saying? Do people realize what they saying? Do you know what type of evils we talking about? I have to let you know, yeah, the good person can stay too. I had to put a check right here. I know he was like, well, damn, what about me, nigga? You can stay too. You know what I mean? We don't want this evil ass nigga around. This good nigga can stay. We don't want this negatron around. This positive drunk ass nigga, he can stay. We need both of these. But you notice these two things don't have to be here for life to continue. I didn't know that people needed to go back over basic science. But for some reason, they done took these words to mean the same shit. And they done took this, you know what I mean? Niggas going around cussing out electrons. Say this bullshit ass electron with all this negative energy. They said, I'm just doing my fucking job for your reality to be here, nigga. You know what I mean? And people uppraising the positive charges and shit. Like, positive didn't do shit but do his job. He ain't nothing special. We need him because we need him. You know what I mean? We need negative because we need negative, nigga. And we can't get rid of neither one of them. They're going to be here forever. All right? There go your duality again. You with me? So, key thing for people to remember is, without realizing it, okay, you will make room for the devil's works by pushing this nonsense. You know what I mean? Or this numb sense. Because that's all it does. It numbs your senses. People say, I'm not mad at it. We need the devil. The devil got to exist here too. Listen what they saying. We need evil. I want to live in the world where it's evil too. Hold on. Hold on. I know you was going to write that. Hold on. Well, I don't know. That's different. That's different. That's different. Well, what are you doing now? Well, yeah, no, that's not even, that is evil. I didn't know that I thought we was talking about little stuff here. I didn't know we was talking about like stuff like that. Like, no, I mean, I don't have to. No, I didn't even. No. See, you starting to. Yeah. When you start really listening to what the fuck coming out your mouth. Evil gotta be here. This is why people done said, yo, everything just is how it is. Everything happened for a reason. Don't mean don't do shit. Determinism was not an excuse to sit on your ass. The butterfly effect, chaos theory, none of that shit was some shit that was supposed to encourage niggas to just do nothing. Look at your world. He said, oh, put it away. No, look at it. Look at your world. This is what we refer to as evil. I don't think anybody would look at this list and be like, that's good. No, I actually do think, it's a lot of motherfuckers who probably would. They throw it off. And I'm sure it's some conscious community nigga right now trying to request to explain to me why the fuck this is necessary and it's good. They be sick in the fucking head. Evil is evil. This is what we mean when we say evil. You want to know what we mean? We say evil. We be like, evil because that's what the fuck we talking about. You with me? Evil is not always some shit you got to figure out whether or not it is. You know what I mean? Wicked. We know what this means. But for some reason, when it's time to talk, niggas always want to say, it's not wicked. It's just about duality. It's a tired point. It's late. I'm sleepy. Everybody's sleepy. We've been here for 58 hours. You know what I mean? It's a tired point. No. It's called lazy. That's what it's called. It's not duality. It's called lazy. People don't want to do the work. The real work. That's why this stays locked. Law of correspondence. And the only thing that could unlock it is the key. And another word for key. Phonetically what? Key. Also, key is spirit. So you got the key, you got the spirit. And spirit is ruh or ruh or ruah. You understand? Law of correspondence, family. That's what I did all this for, is to explain to you. No, they didn't know what they were talking about because they didn't care to know what they was talking about. Everybody wanted to just jump out and be teachers without knowing what they're speaking of. So they taught everybody, say, oh yeah, we've been lied to. Baphomet is wisdom. Excuse me. Baphomet. Bab. Fo. May. Baphomet, okay, is the wisdom of the demiurge world. Demiurge. Let's break down demiurge. Demi. Demon. Or demonic. All right. Urge. What is an urge? If you get the urge to do some shit. All right. It's referred to as an impulse. All right. What is demi? Semi. Okay. Semi. Urge. Semi is what? Half. What half? The half that is the Seder. What is Seder? Seder. What does the word or mean? Or means what? Light. What is Saturn or Set Orn, which is sets light, which is Sati light, or Set elite. Okay? So you can only go but so far, all right, when the half of you that you're listening to is the damn goat. Right? And the rest of your body up here like, yo, what we finna do about the fact that this head of mine is also a damn goat. Got an AP on, you know what I'm saying? Doing this shit. You know what I'm talking about? Cuban link. Yeah. This head of mine is a goat, which means this part of me is also this part of me, which means my body is dominated as a what? Animal. Okay? So, the demiurge is saying the half of you that goes off of what? Urges. Which is your what? Animalistic nature. Make sense? So demiurge is just to say semi-urge. And it is this part of your body that operates off of the animalistic nature. All right? So there are two lights. There's set light, or the light of Hal or Hell, like they put in the 2001 Space Odyssey. Hal. Okay? Or Halal. That's all it is. Halal. Or the light of the moon. All right, with that pentagram, which you'll find the crescent moon in the Baphomet image, okay? And then you have the true light, all right? So you have the demiurge, then you have, let me show you the diagram of it. Demi-surge, or you could say demi-sarge, someone who's in charge, or you could say just a demigod, which becomes a demi-guide. All right? The part of you or the half of you that is in control. Controls his energy. Controls his thoughts. This is why it was written that the carnal mind cannot please God. You understand? They like say, you sound like a Christian. No, the Christians sound like us. Where do you think they got it from? What you talking about? They ain't said nothing wrong. They sound like us. You with me? Christians sound like Hindus. And the whole point was, there are multiple points of the self. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. All right? And this is the world inside of you and the world outside of you. Okay? And the world inside and outside of you meets at something called a mental plane. All right? You have the material plane beneath it in this world of confusion and delusion up to a mental plane. And then you have something referred to as divine truth, divine reality, and then divine union with Anu. All right? In order to reach that, what has to happen? Your whole body has to become lit up. This is why it was said what? The light of the body is the eye. The light of the body is the what? The light of the body is the eye. If that whole eye be what? Evil, then the whole body will be dark. Okay? But if that whole eye be good, or that light be good, all right, or God, then the whole body will be light. You with me? So in order for you to turn your whole body into light, you have to activate what they showed you already, which was what? Mir, Ka, Ba. Which is interesting how people come up with these names and they don't, like, do they know what the fuck they even saying? All right? So, Mir, light. Mir also means pyramid. Okay? Ka, spirit. We went over that. Knowledge. All right? Ba, base. Okay? Or body. Okay? So let's look at this. With this diagram, could we form a pyramid? With Merkaba, could we build a pyramid? Remember, Mir already is Mir, which means pyramid. Okay? So remember that. Can we build a pyramid with this? Of course we can. But we don't start with the Mir, which is the light of the pyramid. So what is the light of the pyramid? Let's draw a pyramid. All right. The light of the pyramid is right here. Okay? It's referred to as the cap stone. Okay? You don't start with that. But a lot of people say, I thought the Egyptians said they built their pyramids from the top to the bottom. Okay? They didn't know that top meant beginning or base. Because if you get it beginning, you start at the beginning point. This is the top then, the beginning point. And you go all the way up to the bottom, which is the ending point or the finalized point. You with me? So bottom went end or top. So top to you means this. Top to them meant where you started, the beginning, the top of the story. If I say, yo, tell me the story, start at the top. You with me? Am I telling you to start at the end? Okay, I know it takes time. All right, boom. So if we building this pyramid, we don't start at Mir. We start at what? Ba, the bottom. Ba, tum. Ba, tum. If you don't know, the pyramids were also utilized as tombs. These chambers under it also had places where tombs were. All right? The base or the body's tomb, which is the what? The ground, from the ground up. Batum, which you say is what? Bottom. And we then, okay, so let's build it. Let's go bottom. Here go our bottom. Boom. This is our bottom. You say, Faise, you just built damn near the whole pyramid. No. Listen, this is the bottom without the capstone. Ba. All right? So let's go put it over here in our key. We'll use this as our key. Ba. All right? So we got our ba. What's next? We got to put some spirit in this. Ba ka. All right, ka. So we have to charge this up. All right? And we have to put places in it where the information is hidden in the bottom or in the tomb or in the darkness. We have rooms protected by walls of light. Okay, secret chambers that still haven't been found. All right, scrolls hidden within the rocks or in the stones. Okay, this is what's referred to as our ka. All right, and then we add on our top, which is our light of the house, which is our what? Mir. Okay, so we have ba, ka, mir. That's how you actually supposed to spell it. Bakamir. And when you write it out, it's the word bakam. Bakam. Okay? Which means what? Literally go look this up. It means silent. And ur. You can even go as far as say ear, because that's what you have active when you are silent. Okay? Silent ur, which is what? Light. Y'all with me? Silent, light. Now watch this. Now, we're no longer saying Merkaba. We're saying Bakamir. Silent light. All right? You have a true light that is activated in the darkness. I showed you how to find it. If you don't know how to find the true light, you can go in a dark room. All right? Close your eyes. Hold them tight. And then open them. And you will see green light moving around your room. Green light is found in the darkness. Who found it? I did. Why it took so long for us to find it? I don't know. But that is the true light, the light of every man that cometh into the world. Green light. You with me? So we have something referred to as true light. Then we have something referred to as true sound. Okay? When you are silent, okay, you already got your pyramid. You know how to build it now. You had to reverse what they thought was how they built it. And you had to acknowledge that it was being built already. And now you get it. They flipped the pyramid, but they kept the science, which meant that they kept the shape that was created when that pyramid was flipped. And that is your Bakamir. All right, boom. Silent sound, silent knowledge, silent light. Bakamir. Okay? Remember, I breathed my spirit into man, my knowledge into man, and man became a living soul. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. Became, man became, Bakamir, became, Bakamir, became, becomer. You with me? So watch this. You go into the silence just as Adiyogi Shiva did. Okay? Shiva, which is a word in Hebrew. Shiva, which is also Shiva, which means 7. Don't forget that. All right? Because this is a key. Literally a key. Okay? So you go into silence. And based off of the science of what is referred to as the refraction, which happens with light, but people say that it happens with sound also. Okay? Refraction of sound waves. Okay, let's go SW. Refraction of sound waves. When there is less disordered movement which is really heat, less heat, okay? Less heat, all right, which comes from the daylight, which is another way of saying just sunlight or the sun's rays. When there's less of this, okay, sound actually can travel further, all right? More sound can get out and in when there's less of this, which means that during the shadow hours, or what you call nighttime, okay, in the dark or in that silent place, more can be heard. So there was a science that came out a while back, and that science was by Dr. Malachi Z. York. He said, and if y'all heard anybody say this, it came from Dr. Malachi Z. York. Meditation versus prayer. He said, meditation is the art of listening and not talking. He said, pay attention that listen is an anagram for silent. All this came from Pops. Meditation is listening, all right, and not talking. Prayer is talking and not listening. Which means if you're not listening, you're not being silent. So there's something that can be activated with this that can't be activated with this. You understand? Because you have to find your way to the medi. And when you say meditation, what are you doing? You're looking for a dot. And people think the dot is a part of their body. Well, actually it is. But in all actuality, you're not looking for a space in your body or your whole of body. You're looking for a space that is observed by only using your brain or your mind. So when I was 19 years old, 18 years old, I wrote about this. I actually lost the notebook. But I taught my brother. My brother hit me up and was asking me for deliverance from a lot of stuff. And he wanted to learn how to meditate. I said, here goes your task. Here's your assignment. I said, your assignment is to look for a white dot, okay, in a dark space. Meaning he was supposed to go into his room, all the lights out, all right, close his eyes and focus and try to find a white dot. You understand? That dot is always in the center. This is why the mantra that I gave the pharaohs when I was in high school and I gave y'all recently, okay, is I am what? Centered. I am centered. Okay? Meditation. People say meditation is evil. Meditation can't be evil. You understand? Because all right, gives us the center, as medi is the mid in pyramid, and para means fire. Okay, we'll come back to that. Medi, mid, all right, center, okay, which gives us the word kutub or kitub or kitab. And prayer is in the book, And meditation is in the book. And the word kitab means book. Okay? So, if, and it does, kitab means book. Right? Ki is spirit. Plus tab. And what is tab? A tab is some shit that you open on a computer, but also, all right, it's short for tabernacle. If I say, yo, you from the tab? I'm asking them, are they from the Holy Tabernacle? Okay? Kitab. And a tab or a tabernacle is none other than a holy place of dwelling or a dwelling place, which is referred to as a shrine. Okay? So, spirit place, a dwelling place, happens to be the kitab. So if I say kitab, not only am I saying book, another word is scripture. So if I meditate to get back to the kitab, which is the center, or the kitab, then I'm going back to what? Scripture. Well, in that scripture, they said what? In the book of John. That light of every man. It's a light that's inside of every man. Okay, every human being that cometh into the world. But the darkness comprehended it not. You have to find it. What did comprehended it mean? It meant obtain. In order to obtain that light, you have to be able to focus and find that light. Kitab, scripture, holy book. Another word you gave for the holy book or divine book was Sephir. Sephir, which is just cipher, which means to what? Break something down or decode something, or a code. Decode. Kitab, cipher, kitab. Now, once I go into that central point, as a meditator, okay, I'm able to figure out what the key is to open up the tab. You actually have a key tab or a tab key on your computer, interestingly enough. All right? Now I can unlock something. Remember, you had to unlock all of the chakras, or all of the points, or all of the things that were concealed. What? Sealed. Sealed by the con masters. Okay? Who was Hilal. And Halan, as I explained, meant conceal. Was just a few letters around of Halal, okay, or Hilal. You had to be able to open up, okay, what was sealed. How many seals were there? Who knows? In the biblical scripture, how many seals? 7. 7. Okay? And once you figured out how to crack open them seals, those 7 seals, okay, then you had the grand revelation. And you were able to turn your whole body light as what they call Merkaba, which meant a chariot, or Bakamir, okay, as Sheba, which meant 7, taught you how to do. All right? So from that central point, or that central point, the light from you is able to shine outward. And you become sons or elite beings or Illuminati. You understand? Isn't this the same thing that we've been teaching since forever? Isn't this the same thing that we've been bringing for the longest? Should we not be able to see these things like this right here and crack the science by now? Should we not be able to see it? I mean, it's all there at all times. But this is what right knowledge taught us how to do. Okay, so then, whether it was Bobby Hemmett or Brother Panic, we say Hemmett, all I saw was hermit, which was an animal. Excuse me. What'd you call that, an animal? Yeah, well, a sea crab. A crab that dwelled in the desert. Okay? And desert was the word Deshir in Egypt. And Deshir just meant red. And red was amber. So hermit, to me, amber light. Off rip. Then you told me Brother Panic, which I put in my book, How to Fight COVID and Win, that the word panic came from the word Pan, which was the fucking goat. Comes out and tells everybody to go up under the goat too, which was also another amber light being or red light being. You with me? We can look at people and tell. We see what they own. We see what they doing. We say, okay, cool. That's opposition. So when people are saying Satan is just us, they saying they the ops. We need to start believing the motherfuckers. Satan is just ourselves. We Satan. They're saying that those particular people are ops. Because the word Satan, shaitan, means opposer or adversary. You with me? Now, I don't know why the fuck or who would want to be an opposer of them damn selves. You with me? They be like, hail Satan. Watch this. They be like, hail Satan. And I be like, I say it again. They'll say it again with their chest out. Say, you stupid. You sound like a Christian. Hail Satan. And I be like, why? They be like, cuz Satan is just ourselves. I said, so you saying hell, which means fall down or worship or revere the ops? I don't get it. I don't get it. You can't be mad at me because I don't get it. That don't make no fucking sense. Why don't people who worship Satan say, hail God? Because I think I beat the game, bro. I don't know. I think I beat the game, y'all. This shit don't make... I was just saying today, I said, I have to be in a simulation. This is the only logical explanation for this buffoonery. They say hail to op. And I just want to know, like, I get it, but I don't, because it's like, why don't y'all just say hail God? He said, well, Faise, they're Satanists. Yeah, but it's like, but when you say that though, it's like you saying they're oppists. They fuck with their op. I don't get it. Because if Satan is your God, first of all, when you say Satan, you're saying the op. So if the op is your God, or your guide, or your guard, or your whoever, your partner, them, whatever, then why are you calling him an op? Why don't you call him by His real name. You know what I mean? But they can't do it because they don't want to be too technical. Because they fuck around and say hell God, they don't want to confuse the Christians and make them think they talk about the same people. So they just say Satan. But then they say they don't believe in the Bible. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Satanists, first of all, that don't make sense. We got to say it again for the record. That's dumb as fuck. I don't understand anybody could ever call themselves a Satanist and say that they fuck with their ops. Right? But Satanists have to believe in the Bible because where else the fuck did you get the word Satan? The whole character comes from the Bible. So you calling him Satan, acknowledging he's the op of the creator of the fucking universe. You acknowledge him to be an op. And your dumb ass still fuck with him? Look. It's what it is. I mean, hey. That's some stupid shit. Then, how the fuck the Satanists blended they spooky body ass in the conscious community? I don't know. How y'all got all the wrong gatekeepers? Because gatekeepers supposed to also stop motherfuckers from coming in. The way that they let them niggas in don't make no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Say it's just our lower self. Your lower self is not an op. That's like saying, all these chakras beneath here need to just go. They ops. Only need these chakras from here on up. Try it. Try to split your body in half and say, I don't need this part. No. That's why I tell people, when people say, oh, a daemon is just a god. It's just a spirit or ancestor. That's a daemon. That's all it is. You ain't no need to be scared of no demon. It's just a daemon. They want you to be scared of the daemon because the daemon, just shut up, Bobby. Listen, you looking? This right here is a real being that comes in many forms, many types. You want to know what they call him in science? They call him not an ancestor. All right, they call it a parasite. An instinctual being that don't give a fuck about you. If you're telling me this is my ancestors, fuck the ancestors. If my ancestors is instinctual blood-sucking beings who don't give a fuck about my well-being, then ain't no reason to have no damn altar in my house. What? That's just an ancestor. That's what I'm thinking. That's a daemon. There's a daemon and a sit is just a sit in your brain and Baphomet. We gave them that. We gave them what? What? Huh? And you say, wait a minute. Even if daemon meant spirit, there's translations. Now explain this, Bob. Or all your followers, whoever the new Bobettes. Explain what this is. What is a this? What is a that? It's an ancestor. Ancestor of who, nigga? That's y'all secret word. Niggas use ancestors like Christians be using believe. What are you talking about? Do you know what an ancestor is? We got to go back. This is what an ancestor, listen. An ancestor just mean motherfucker was here before you got here. Ancestor don't even mean dead. Did you know that? It just mean motherfucker got here to this planet before your jiggle body ass got here. So now, an ancestor gotta be the god of rain and shit. What the bro? Stop. That nigga name was Lily Bob for some reason. He shopped at Target. He paid taxes. He believed in Sunday football. He's not the god of rain. Why the fuck would I call on Lily Bob for anything? And Lily Bob is your ancestor. My ancestors wasn't named no Lily Bob. My ancestors was Shaka Zulu, Sacagawea. You know what I mean? So Lily Bob is who you might pray or call on or whatever to venerate. That's fine. Ancestral veneration isn't new. But what the fuck do niggas mean when they take their wrinkled body ass to the drawing board and they write this shit right here? 3 letters. They put it on here. It changes everything. What is that? This, I don't even know what to refer to him as. Butt stop teaching ass niggas, Bro Sanchez, went off for however the fuck long. I couldn't watch the whole shit. Made my head hurt. He didn't even put my name in the title. He just, he said elder and F1. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Tornado ass shit? Elder and F1. He said, Nick, this nigga Faise One and Young Elder claim to have ties with the ancestors. What the fuck are you college dropouts talking about? The ancestors? Like, you talking about them in particular? Like those at that particular point, that one, them, this, article V. Who raised you niggas? Why the fuck would I say some stupid shit like that? That's the only thing I was upset about. Other than the fact that my name was F1. I'm like, that ain't even the right type of promo. Can y'all tell him that at a critical point like this, okay, we need promo, bro. Like, you could have at least spelled it out. That's not fair, bro. That's cheating. That means you can talk shit. And people like, how you, the phase, is it F1? Is it F? I can't find this thing. I don't want to look. You know, people lazy, nigga. You could have helped me out. You know what I mean? Because the last thing I ever would want to do is debate a delusion like flat earth. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I'm not offended by anything he said. It was all like kindergarten shit. He didn't address anything. So, it's, you know, maybe I was just like, yeah, but they're already flat earthers. That's called confirmation bias. They just wanted him to do it so they can feel better about their belief system. I kept telling him, I'm not coming for your belief system. Your belief system is what it is. But why are you trying to tell people that this is true like you know? So this nigga said, Faise One claimed to be in touch with the ancestor community. I never claimed no such stupid bullshit. Y'all got to stop saying the ancestors. You got to start asking motherfuckers in your meditation circle, who your peoples? You sitting there, oh, this nigga got one eye open. He watching you. His great-great-grandfather owned all y'all ancestors. He looked like you right now. But did you ask who the fuck ancestors his is? You telling everybody to go to the ancestors for help. Niggas coming to you for help. Say, what should I do? Go to the ancestors. The ancestors will provide. He done went to the ancestors. It's Christopher Columbus in them. Trying to figure out why the fuck we can't get ahead. You keep passing the wrong team the fucking ball. Go to the ancestors. This nigga ancestors was the motherfuckers talking about they're savages, barely even human. His ancestor, George Washington. His ancestor, Lucifer himself. The ancestors. Stop it. Everybody ain't still in pre-K. That's why he ain't want to address what the fuck it was really talking about. He's supposed to, this what flat earthers believe. Nigga showed a diagram of some shit he Googled. He could have did this. He could have did what I'm doing. He could have at least drew some shit. Said, nigga, let me tell you what I seen. This nigga found me some shit that was just like the epitome of a replicated toroidal field diagram. You know what I mean? Nigga drew this donut. I'm not even gonna finish the drawing. It's too late. just imagine, you know what the fuck. You know where the point is, the nigga drew a damn toroidal field planet. Yeah, I mean, he could have drew that. And I'll be like, okay, he got something. No, just Google images of what the fuck science already agrees with. Magnetism and a magnetosphere. How do flat earthers even talk about a magnetosphere? That's another question. It got the word never mind. So the point is, you know what I mean? These niggas, they got real attitudes. And my whole thing was, you have an issue with me, but you won't address what's being said. Everybody don't have the same ancestors. So you got to stop saying the ancestors. You should have gatekept and stopped certain motherfuckers from even getting close to your communities to be some teachers. All right? They can't prove of what they speak of. And they speak of all the things that they claim it can be proved. Yet, they're not able. So what do? He did the same exact thing, which means I know he did not watch my whole teaching. Okay? Because as I skimmed through that shit, there was a part where he said, what he say? He said, he asking me to do what globe earthers got to do. They got to prove this. I don't got to prove nothing. Which means that he would never have passed one of these tests. Because in a science test, you got to prove, as the word science itself has the etymological root, to know some shit. So basically what they saying is, I don't got to know what I'm talking about. I can just run my damn mouth. This is 2023, 2024. People want to believe in some shit. All I got to do is talk with enough conviction and say shit like the ancestors and say shit like the white man. He said he believed a white man. He believed a white man. Newton is a dummy. Somebody that came out and tried to create gravity. You didn't study history. You're not familiar with Brahmagupta II? You don't know about the Indians having the science of calculus more than 1,000 years before Newton was born? You don't know about them making whole books and poems about gravity before Newton was born? You believe the white man. What are you talking about? I don't believe anybody. All I said was, I think it's a fair statement that anybody who's trying to argue what the shape of the earth is and ain't been their ass out there to see, all right, has to be suffering from some type of delusion. Because you know you haven't seen it, but you're arguing it like you have. What's my point? All right, long as you could take on something that was supposed to be there for truth, the no more, so people would literally know what time it is and flip it, flip everything on its head, all right, then you did the works of the devil. That means the devil can do the works to any number as long as they flip it. They can do the works to any number. They can do the works to any science as long as they flip it from what was known, okay, into something that's referred to as belief. Okay? So ask these people who are now struggling to hold on to something that they thought was a science. Have you actually encountered a demon? Have you actually encountered a daemon? It's just a daemon. Have you encountered one? Why are people telling people to befriend demons? No, you should make friends with your demons. What? Have you lost what's left of your brain? Have you encountered these beings before? And because you haven't, that's the only way you could say, oh, demons is just our lower self. Listen, this is a real question. Has anybody awakened from being chased through realities? I'm not talking about in no nightmare or no dream. I'm talking about you done transported over whole dimensions. And you look back, these motherfuckers is still chasing you, still trying to touch you. Has anybody come back from being chased and you have to literally catch your breath? You were running from your lower self. Well, bad news for you. When you got back, look down. There go your lower self still sitting right there. You can't, what? Demons is just our lower self. We need to befriend it. Yo, let me tell you something. Back in 2015, 2016, I found myself in an alternate reality where I even had my blanket. I had an American flag blanket, right? I was laying down. I even had my blanket with me in that reality. I looked up. There were no stars. I was in an old neighborhood I used to stay in called Timber Ridge Court. I think it was Timber Ridge Court off Tilson Road over right by McNair Middle School, Decatur, right? I'm walking around. I had a white thermal on, and I might have had like some pajama pants, either that or some blue jeans. One of them, I don't even think. Yeah, I think I might have had my blue jeans on. But I'm walking around in that neighborhood trying to figure out when the fuck I got there, right? And I'm lucid. I'm like, how the fuck I get over here? And immediately the hairs on my neck stood up, and I knew I wasn't by myself. And I turned, and it was this being that didn't move how we move. He moved like stop motion. He moved like pictures, right? And he was wearing what I was wearing, so I thought it was me. Okay, that's the reason I'm saying this. I'm like, is this me that? But no, he was moving through like pictures, wearing what I was wearing. He didn't have the blanket, but he had big ass blades. Right? And I literally took off running. And in my mind, it was like, you already know you're not finna outrun this motherfucker. Right? So I jumped into the air. And I started to fly into the vast darkness. Remember, there were no stars in the sky. As I was flying, I felt whoever or whatever this being was chopping at my ankles. Right? And something said, if you don't get out, you ain't gonna get back to your body. This was a being who had already started to take on the form of me and was trying to beat me literally back to my body. Listen, you don't gotta believe me. I don't want you to. That's fine. This being was already claiming me as itself, and was trying to kill me in whatever alternate reality it pulled me in, and was gonna try to beat me to my body. So I've flown countless times in my dreams, astral projection. This was not even the only time. I had to do it again not too long ago when I went over there to Area 51 because I didn't believe when them folks was making them TikTok videos talking about some, you can't go to Area 51. It's got this, whatever the fuck you call it, force field around it when you astral project, and for some reason they got it blocked off and da-da-da-da-da, right? And if you try to do it, it's going to throw you back or whatever. I think they were talking about the moon, right? I said, that's bullshit. I astral project everywhere. So I tried to actually go to Area 51. Almost got my ass trapped in whatever the fuck this net-like technology was. And I had to use that switch, I call it, to get myself back to my body. But I was trapped. All I can remember is this long blue, white type beam of light that I was being dragged along. It wasn't vertical, it was horizontal. And I felt this lace of net around my body. Why? Or how did it happen? I was in Nevada, and I was over the place where they would have the Area 51 entrance. That's why I astral projected to. So I was never in the lab. But something told me, you're right above the lab. So that's how close I got. So you're right above the lab. Now, not the lab as in there's only one lab. There's many. But this is what I was thinking in my brain. Right? So I said, okay, I know how astral projection works. It's like teleportation often. All I got to do is think myself in there, and I'm in there. Y'all, I tried to think myself in there and got my ass tangled up. They had some shit that I didn't see it, right? As in, I didn't see no, whatever call it, force field around Nevada, none of that shit, not around the area I was over. But I tried to think myself down there, and my ass got tangled up. And it took the switch. I call it the switch. It took the switch for me to click back here. It was a switch that I used to get out of hell when I went down there. It was a switch that I used to get out of that environment that the motherfucker was chasing me in. And it was a switch that I used to get out of that, whatever that entanglement was. Right? So just wanted to throw that in there. That shit is real. I tried. I don't know what it is. And it didn't do much for my pride because I'm that nigga who say I can go in fucking where. I went to hell. Some reason you can't go into the fucking Area 51. That's crazy as fuck thinking about it because I've been all over this bitch. And I also tried to go to the moon and I got shot with some red lasers. So they were right about that too. And I was mad as fuck because I couldn't wait to come back to tell them motherfucker, they lying like a motherfucker. I went there. No, wherever they learned that shit from, it's true. I tested it. Hey, and I wouldn't advise anybody to do it. If you astral project, I wouldn't advise you to play with it simply because I have to be responsible about what I say. So I can't advise you that with that responsibility. But also because I have a lot of experience. So my being able to get out of that, whatever that web was, is experience. You feel what I'm saying? That's like the movie they put out called Jumper. I have experience. I'm not a newcomer. So I wouldn't advise you to do it. Even if you're not a newcomer, I just listen. All right? From what I experienced, they got that shit locked down with some type of astral technology. So, you know, whatever you want to call it, call me crazy, call me whatever. I don't give a fuck. So I wound up to get out. This was the first time I think I used the switch. All right? It's back in like 2016. I had to fly faster than the speed of thought. No, fly faster than the speed of light, which was thought. And then as I did that, I had to go faster than that. So basically, I had to already be here. It was less about traveling. It was about being. So I was here. I beamed myself back here. And I was staring out into the open. Actually, I came back. This is the interesting part. When I came back here, keep in mind, I'm like 15 years old, 16 years old. When I came back here, I called out to my Umi. And I got up and I ran in to tell her about it and everything. But then I woke up again. I came back here again. I was like, yo, wait a minute. And the whole time I feel the same presence of this being. I said, ain't no way this motherfucker done came over here with me. It took me about 5 tries of shaking from whatever the frequencies were that were holding me in that place or in that reality to make you seem like you're dreaming. Upon that 4th or 5th try, I finally came back. And you know how it takes some time for, like if you wake up out of a dream or if you come back from a projection, it'll take time for your eyes to adjust to this light if you've experienced it. That's just normally. I ain't talking about nothing special. Some of y'all don't experienced it where it's lit in your room, but you wake up and it take time for, like, you see the little spiraling looking shit have to clear up out of your eyes and then you can see the picture or see this reality. It was the same way. And I went to rest with my light on. When I came to, all right, my light was off. My right hand to the Most High, everything you're hearing has been true. Everything you will continue to hear is true. Right? So I'm confused thinking that, okay, maybe my Umi done came in and turned my light off. So I called to my Umi this time and she responded. I got up and I stumbled because sometimes it takes time to readjust to your body. I stumbled into the living room and the lights were off. All the lights was off. And I asked my Umi, because all I could see was her, because she had her Dr. Dre laptop off in the corner with her office, and I could see her from the light of the laptop. But that's all I could see. Everything else I had to feel my way to. So I laid on the couch in the living room. I said, why are all the lights off? She said, that just happened. Right? She said, not too long ago. Because I was asking, when did it happen? She said, one of the neighbors came and said that something happened with one of the transformers in the neighborhood. And if you don't know what a transformer is, I don't know, I don't think I'm talking about it. Listen, the power thing that keeps shit going, right? And all the power was out. There was a church behind us, St. Peter's Church, that was out, and everything was dark for like a whole block away. So it was a whole power outage. They came to the door, had a whole conversation with. They had time to talk to my mama, talk about it, and go back home. That's how long I was trying to get back, right? She said after that, since the lights was off, she said she was sitting at the laptop, and a bowl or spoon, something fell in the kitchen, right? Keep in mind it's dark. So my mama, right, she trying to figure out who up. She like, who up? Right? She said she was able to see right before the lights went out, because we held, what was it? I don't want to call it, no, it was a blanket. We had a blanket hanging between what we call the middle room leading to the kitchen and the living room. She said the blanket moved, right? And when the blanket moved, she was like, who is that? And she looked and it was nobody, right? So keep in mind what I'm telling you. So she said like a bowl or some spoon, fork, whatever, something clanked as it hit the ground in the kitchen. She got up, she went and got her sage, and she went to go start saging and smudging the house. She said she went toward the kitchen, and something literally told her, don't you come in here. You better not come in here. She said it was pitch black. She said the whole area felt thick. It didn't feel like just no darkness. It felt like you were walking through cotton. And she said, and look, I know my mama. We war. we was like, who can't come in? But like Pop said, he said he the type of person, if you call him for an exorcist and the devil is bigger than him, he leaving. You know what I mean? What or whatever this being was told my Omi, better not come in here. So guess what she didn't do? She didn't go in there. And I came in, and now we having a conversation. She's telling me all of this. And I broke down to her what the experience was that I had. And that's when it started to make sense. It connected all the dots. I said, I came back here so fast that I split the dimensions. That's how that motherfucker got through here. But he was not able to kill me before getting through here. So he came here disembodied. You with me? And as the AM came in, my Umi was I fell back into a resting state. But she was able to tell me she walked back through there smudging and it didn't feel as thick as it was. She opened the door, which was the back door, and she basically was explaining to it that it had to go. Where whoever it was, whatever it was, it couldn't stay. And she cast it out. But I'm telling you, whoever or whatever that being was able to come back through here and was set fast. And it ain't the only one that I encountered in that house. Okay? But it had his whole heart set on replacing me. There was another one that I astral projected into my sister's closet. And the closet wound up being a long ass pathway. And I went to go see it because I heard my stepfather screaming. He was being tortured. Right? Which they told me his soul was in hell. So I went to go see if there was a way that I could unlock it and get him out. And as I bent the corner, it was literally a corner to a long ass blue hallway. As soon as I bent the corner, there was a being waiting there. And neither one of these beings had a face. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. If you don't, that's the best way to explain it. They don't have a face. He didn't have a face. He was cloaked. As soon as I bent the corner, his hand was around my neck. And my spirit was being drained and I had to use the switch. So if you don't know what the switch is, it's just saying, it's like, I don't know, it's a mechanism that they gave me. Shit, it allows me to go into areas they say we're not supposed to go. and I can always find my way back to my body. That's the best way to describe it. I can't get lost. I'm not able to be severed. All right. But there are certain, okay, there's another thing I can explain. Certain times where they have a timer on the reality you're in. So you can only go to certain places for so long. That timer, there's another question. You can comment this. Has anybody experienced where you go into the astral projection realm and you're there for some time, but then you start feeling a tug on either the back of your neck, okay, which is saying to get back to your body, or your heart start to like squeeze? Has anybody experienced where there's a tug on either the plug that's on the back of your neck or a tug on the plug that's on your heart? Anybody experience any of those? You feel what I'm saying? It tells you to come back to your body. And sometimes, even if you don't choose to, that timer is set to protect you. And it will send you back to your body. Because you've been outside of your body too long. You with me? So that's why I tell people astral projection don't come with just some, oh, you walk away from your body, somebody gonna possess you. No. But if your ass wind up in the wrong environment, all right, if you end up in the darkness or in the depths of hell, then somebody disconnects you or severs that cord, then yeah, they can take on your body. You feel what I'm saying? Or there have been people who've been caught out there and they couldn't come back. And they do what's called die in your sleep. You feel what I'm saying? And that cord is severed. It's referred to as the silver cord in the Holy Scripture or the biblical scripture. That's your etheric cord. It's what keeps you attached to the body while you're here. It keeps you attached to a lot of bodies. But we only say it for this one because we're here. Yeah, so yeah, it'd be a pull or a tug, and it brings you back. Right? I know there's been a major bill. Anybody got any questions? Go ahead, I see you. Yeah, that never happened to me. I've been close. Like I said, I've been close. I done ended up in places where it's like, bro, you ever just be like, man, no, bro, not tonight. As a warrior myself, I'm telling you, I done ended up in places where it's like, hell no, I'm leaving. Not tonight. You don't want to fight every motherfucking being. Some of them of us might beat your ass. Don't forget you have weapons. Yeah, I always use weapons. I manifest them as all, you know. If they take your body, what happens then? Won't your people know that's not you? No, they won't. What they'll observe is the person is acting different. You will feel like they possess. You're like, damn, bro, what possessed you to do that? Why are you? This motherfucker's weird lately. You know what I mean? The doctors might say there's a parasite, but it's happened. You know what I mean? But all you'll know is that who used to be there ain't there no more. It's only a body. It's like a car, like everything else. I've heard wake up. I've heard my name. You know what I mean? I don't know about the what if. I don't know what you mean by what if. I've heard it. You know what I mean? I mean, wake up. It's probably time. I don't know. I don't know. I heard it, though. Anybody heard the laughing in the ear? Anybody heard the screaming? Have you been in who's been in a dream and heard ear-piercing sound? Anybody heard some loud ear-piercing shit and you had to leave that? It's so many different fractal realities here. But I've been in places where, listen, I'm only talking about this just because we was on the conversation of the demons. All realities ain't like that. There's a lot of pleasant places. You know what I'm saying? Can you explain the darkness was over the face of the earth meaning? Did light come from dark or dark come from light? Light was already there. Dark was already there. When he said, let there be light, he didn't say God created. They didn't say God created light. He said, let there be light. You understand? So the darkness meant that wherever they were at that time, there was no star, which was no sun. So a voice had to penetrate that darkness. Meaning in the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, 2, and 3, okay? In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, and goes on to say what? The earth was void and without form, darkness. And they say what? Let there be light. God said, let there be light, and there was light. That's sonoluminescence. The sound that pierced through the darkness was God's voice. All right? And then there was an implosion of that light, a spark. All right? And it caused light to shine. All right? That light had to be the sun. But then they go on to say that he created the sun and the moon, lesser light and the light. But it was a star. In order for things to be observed, as the observable universe has to be observed by beings with this type of sensory input compartment, which is the eye, the physical eye. You with me? I'm trying to get to all y'all. I see a lot coming in. Let's see. How do we catch the ride year 30 or 42? They'll come to you. I'm only preparing you to be contacted. But they'll come to you. Anything that you would need to know about leaving this plane, if that were the case, they would tell you. If they don't tell you, I can't give you that answer. It's not my world. It's not my role. Can you explain the best way to astral project? Learn lucid dreaming. Become more familiar with your body, and you got to get comfortable being able to sit still. Sitting still, laying on your back, lifting your pinky without lifting your pinky. Lifting your index finger without lifting your index finger. You got to do it all in your brain. Lift your right hand without lifting your right hand. Lift your left hand without lifting your left hand. Sit up without actually sitting up. This is how you literally start to separate or differentiate between the two bodies. And you'll learn that it's still a physical body, just operating in a different plane. Do you see shadows out of the corner of your eyes and look, nothing's there? Yes. Sometimes that's your brain, all right, operating with your peripheral vision to fill in spaces that the brain feels should be there. You understand? Or sometimes it's a being that's walking in and out. All right, but the science of it is a lot of times that happens because the brain is trying to make sense of it, of something that hasn't taken on a full frontal image yet until you turn and look on it, at it directly. Make sense? So that's not an abnormal occurrence. How do I know what is truth and what isn't? You'll only know when you know. Test it out. See for yourself. Deal with the things you can control. Try not to stress over the things you can't. That comes with information also. Astral projection can occur involuntarily. That was my first astral projection experience involuntarily. What does it mean being awakened by a loud thunder sound in my head? I don't know what it means. I dreamed about a blue fish. Who's the baddest of them all? I heard the laughter. Yeah, we all heard the laughter. I said no to them bat boys and said me versus the bat. Yeah, we've been fighting them. They just come on as different forms, different people. They be the same illusion until one of us step in. Then they can't do it no more. Can you talk about a pleasant experience from the astrals? Yeah. So, firstly, my first time encountering what I say was an Ethereum. Okay, I encountered one over the summertime, 2023. But the first time was, I think, 2015. A lot of things happened in 2015 to 2016. But I was having a sleep paralysis experience at first. And I heard the sirens. I heard dogs barking. I heard children running and playing. And then I looked up at my ceiling. And there was these beings that were flying around in a spiral. And they appeared to be secondary color looking beings, lit up. They had no face, but they were just light, all beings of light. So again, that even though that wasn't the direct astral projection experience, it was coming in contact with these beings on your travels. Many times I've crossed paths with them, and there's a certain type of, and if you know it, you know it. If you're not familiar with it, you're not familiar with it. But for those of you who are, right, which I hope is more people as we go, you know what I'm saying. They have this type of comfort that they bring, right? I'm not even trying to be funny. Coming in contact with an Ethereum, you will be ready. Your ass will want to leave. There has not been one time that I've come in contact with an Ethereum where I didn't ponder leaving with them. It's they just got this familiarity of peace. It was just so much peace when it's like you know what I mean? You see them. There's this outline. There's this no, it wasn't kaleidoscope. Lava lamps. Remember them lava lamps we used to have? I think that's the best way to describe them. Or it wasn't even really lava lamps. It was some other shit. We used to play with them when we was children. You shake it up and you turn it upside down and it make other little colors and the bubbles float up to the top. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That's how they kind of look. Their composition. And they're bright. And it's like you see that this is a human being looking being. That's what I could describe. It's like the movie Knowing, without all the details they put in. They put a lot more details in the movie Knowing. I didn't see all that, right? But that's what they look. It's a certain type of peace. So anytime I encountered Ethereans was pleasant. Being able to hop body to body like 4 times in one astral projection until I downloaded into another life where I was a trillionaire was a very pleasant experience. You feel what I'm saying? Because every time there was a projection, there's a bliss. But also being able to realize, wait a minute. And that was one of the times where the heart timer went off. And I wanted to stay longer. Right? There was this lady. Actually, it was a man. It was a man who was upset about whatever the fuck. They call him a marquee. Who remember me telling this story? This is interesting. Who remembers me telling the story about the trillionaire shit? Remember when I was saying, yo, everybody need to start referring to themselves as trillionaires? Y'all remember that? It's like 2020. Anybody remember that? It's important. In the movie John Wick 4, they mentioned some people called marquees. Do y'all remember when I told y'all, when I went over there, the motherfucker, I'm getting excited right now because like, bro, I like, y'all got to start writing y'all own books of how y'all been walking with me because I know people think I'm crazy. But when I went over there, the, whatever the fuck you call it, Italian shark motherfucker was called a marquee. I didn't even know how to spell it. I came back and told y'all what they called it. And I said, I came up with something called a dollar for dollar market. Who remember that? I said it was called a dollar for dollar market. And with the dollar for dollar market, I had convinced millions, tens of millions of people to donate $1 a day. And because tens of millions of people were putting in $1 a day, all right, and there were families that were doing it, all right, so there were multiple funds, dollars coming in from each family from certain communities. I said we were able to literally have trillions of dollars to work with for community reconstruction and all this other stuff. And we were taking care of the whole fucking West. It wasn't black people. We would take care of everybody. I remember seeing in my mind, so it had to be in my memory over there in that body, trucks, like agriculture trucks, okay, with whole food products coming from farms that we owned, going to all of the communities and passing out food. Nobody was paying for food. I remember literally thinking to myself that we were about to buy, it was either another state or some other shit that we were finna literally purchase. You understand? And whoever this marquee was, and remember why I told you why that's important, because John Wick 4 had the word marquee in it as whatever the prestigious people were. They were marquees. That's crazy as fuck. And the dollar for dollar market showed up in CMG with Yo Gotti. Who remember that? When Yo Gotti came out about a month after I told y'all this, Yo Gotti came out and said he gonna do a song challenge called Dollar for Dollar. Y'all remember that? So watch this. The marquee was upset because they had to let go so many workers. They lost all the people who were working for them because people didn't have to work no motherfucking more. Y'all think I'm playing like listen, people didn't have to work anymore. They didn't have to work a job because everything was being provided. All people had to do was live and enjoy life. That's all people had to do, was live, enjoy life, obey the laws of their communities and in their cities and in their land and their states. All right? Look after each other and be artists, because that's what people want to be anyway. If they didn't have to struggle to live, to make a living, everybody be expressing how much of an artist they are. You feel what I'm saying? So it was a different world, set up on a different system with different councils, different governments. You know what I mean? And nobody's stopping us from doing this. I'm telling you, nobody's stopping us from doing what I'm saying, except us. Right? You don't even need to go against the government to do this. You can work with the government to do this. You feel what I'm saying? The government ain't shit. It's the motherfuckers that's in it that will even make something move. The government don't do shit. It's people that do it. There's no such thing as the government in all actuality. It's people. You feel me? So you can replace those people. It's the same shit that was set up in the Constitution before that, before the Continental Congress. All of this was laid out. You know what I mean? If the people that ain't working for you, then there's a way to, replace them. You got to say replace because you got to be careful with that other word, right? So he was upset because he was losing all this fucking money. And he was a multi-billionaire. I held the key as a multi-trillionaire. So I remember I went into my Umi's room. She had a big-ass room, right? And I don't think it was her room. I think it might have been her office, which is crazy, right? And she was like, look, you need to talk to him. And she had him on the phone. And she was like, this is serious. He's something, he making threats, whatever it was. And I'm thinking, pay attention to my details now. I'm thinking this nigga want to talk to me because I got his daughter pregnant. So I had to be fucking with his daughter, right? I'm thinking, he finna tell me his daughter pregnant. I ain't trying to hear this shit, right? But he get on the phone and he on FaceTime. He an Italian looking dude. And he blah, 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 going off about some shit with the fucking money. So I just walked off on him. And my mom was like, he talking about doing this, that, and the third. He's kind of dangerous. I said, he's just a fucking billionaire. I said, I'm a multi-trillionaire. I said, all this, I have a military, I got all this. I said, what the fuck? I said, I'm not worried about him. He calling me. Did I call him? I said, I'm dangerous my damn self. And I walked off. I ain't walk off on my mom. I walked off on that nigga. So whatever his dilemma was about how he had lost all them damn workers and lost billions and all that, I had nothing to do with that. And I wasn't one of those people who could be touched. You can imagine a multimillionaire can't be touched. The type of untouchery that is associated with a multi-trillionaire is unheard of. I couldn't be touched. I don't even know what it is. I was looking at my mom like I'm confused how she was worried about it. Keep in mind, this was not a dream. Keep in mind, I astral projected into a body that was an astral body. Astral projected out of that body to go to another body. Astral projected out of that body. 4 times I did this. Downloaded into another body, and I was already walking in the hallway hearing what was going on with that situation. But at the same time, I was trying to figure out what the fuck was like, wait a minute, hold on. Because you have to remember, like, you get a judge say I'm in another body, right? So I tried to stick around longer. I wanted to go through my files. I wanted to see what it was that I had access to. You know, I wanted to see more of it. But I'm telling y'all, there's a reality where I'm not just a trillionaire. The only reason why I say I'm a multi-trillionaire because I had to be the motherfucker to do it. But if I'm a multi-trillionaire, then we are trillionaires. If I have access to trillions, then something changed. Something changed in the minds of people. I can't become a trillionaire without people deciding to appoint me to that position. So in one reality, y'all did. The people did say, not only this person, okay, but that whole family was appointed to do a job, trusted to do a job, and we did it. And we were handling whole different types of affairs. This shit was different. It was a resource conversation. Didn't even have nothing to do about even the money. It was really all resources. And everywhere I looked in my brain, all the problems of the West were solved. And there had to be something else going on because I keep seeing Africa. So listen, they don't want people to think how I'm telling them, like, you can think this way. If you stop looking at your money as your money alone, as a people, if you do this, not one person, if you would just realize right now that if you show up as a body, who the fuck is Walmart? It's an entity, right? But who is that? Walmart can go to court, though. But who is Walmart? Who is Black America? Who is that? It's a business, a fucking entity. If you would operate as one person, you're already a trillionaire, multi-trillionaire. Your spending power alone is 1.3 trillion on average yearly. Spending. Not to mention what you save, hold, and invest in all. Spending power as a so-called body, Black America, which is chopped up into many organs called organizations. All right? Your spending power is 1.3 trillion. The U.S. is trillions of dollars in debt. Let's do the math on this. You with me? If you would all just decide there is no generational wealth gap, there wouldn't be a generational wealth gap. But sometimes it takes for us to walk up with a rock in our hand in a pot and say, come ye, and everybody gathers around. And we have to say, which is what I'm doing, I got this stone, and I got this pot, and I got this water. I'm about to make the tastiest soup you ever tasted in your life. He said, All I need is a carrot. I got a carrot. Boom, okay. All right, boom. All I need is some salt. I got some salt. Okay, cool. All I need is some corn. All I need is some spinach. All I need is... And then everybody say, I got that. Niggas say, you had carrots this whole time? Yeah, we got carrots this whole time. Y'all didn't know we had carrots? You don't talk to us. You ain't talked to us in 3,000 years. You know what I'm saying? And I stir. And I say, this is so amazing. Who will be the first to try it? One person step up and try it. Say, he's right. We never tasted anything like this. You want to know why? Because you motherfuckers never came together before. You never came together before. But you had this idea of this gumbo, of this super soup, this soup that you could not have made unless you came together. And this soup was not impossible to make. It wasn't even hard to make. One man comes, he said, I'm going to make stone soup. And we got to call everybody together and say, he's not doing a fundraiser for him. He's doing a fundraiser for us. But some people can only see, like I had a teacher called Mr. Garner, right? In Carver High School. He used to tell me, he said, Omari, he said, you're way beyond your years. He said, most people can't see, he said, most people can't see beyond their own nose, right? He said, most people can't see beyond their own nose. I have the 144,000 fundraiser isn't the first fundraiser I've done. Who remember the 100,000 fundraiser from the Sign to the People campaign? Right? We raised $3,000. Who remembers the Honey Bun Run campaign where after 3 months we raised, what, $11,000 or $12,000? Who remembers the children's movie fundraiser we raised $5,000? This ain't the first fundraiser that I've done. Anytime I did a big one, it's like people would make up in their mind for me where I was like, when I had raised enough. Especially the clubhouse days. They'll be, okay, so you can use that. You raised 10,000, or you could be able to do that now. Do what? The goal is 100K. What are you talking about? Do what? Think about what I'm saying. If I say we go build a car, right, and I get the damn wheel and axle put together, you know, you can ride on that. You should be able to do it now. You should be able to. That's transportation. Yo, we're building a car. You know what I'm saying? If I say 144,000, it's for a reason. It could be 100,000. It could be 30,000. It could be 50,000. I want people. I really want to try this real quick. I really want to try this. Now I really want to do this, not try it. I want y'all to comment in one sentence, okay? As in 7, 8 words, 9 words or less. What is the main purpose of what I'm doing? That's the fundraiser. That's the letters. That's the music. That's everything you see me do, from music videos, movies, teachings, books, all that. What is the purpose? I want y'all to comment what the purpose is of all of this. With the 144,000 fundraiser in mind, I want y'all to comment it. If y'all still here with me, I know we late, or it's late. What's the purpose? Okay, I had to make sure my damn comments work. Is everybody in here? Everybody went to sleep? Am I tripping, or did they cut me off a long time ago and I can't see? Who's still in here? I was gonna say, wait a minute now. They said, nigga, we typing. You expect us to breathe it into the fucking keypad? I can't see none of the comments except my own, my last one I just did. If y'all commenting it, I can't see. That's interesting. Well, because I can't see, I don't know if that's because y'all commenting and I can't see it, which is a glitch. But I see you typing, I see you tapping the heart and the 100. So y'all in here. The shit just ain't showing up, y'all. I don't know why. Let me see if I can. I don't know. They probably cut the shit. I don't know. The purpose is, before we get up out of here, to reach the masses. That's been the purpose. That's still the purpose. All right? We have to reach the masses. You don't get 144,000 people by reaching 144,000 people. Sometimes you got to reach 14 million people or 144 million people just to get 144,000. You know what I mean? So we're not here yet. All of us ain't here yet. You feel me? I feel y'all. Anybody who walking with me, we synced up. So I feel you. I know what you're going through. I know you being tried. I know you being tested. And I know you look around and you see, damn, there's not many people around that's doing what I'm doing. Because you in your own corner coming to that true light. You're not by yourself. You're synced up with others who are taking that walk. If anybody in here is doing the fast, right? We should be into now the third day. Look at how time is moving. You've already done 2 days. Because you set your mind on 7 days, what would have been a 3-day fast ain't nothing at this moment. You're going to breeze through them 3 days. Then you'll go 4, 5, 6, and 7, and you'll be done. You're not by yourself. I see the questions. What do I do if I fail to fast? I've already answered that. I answered that when it came to retention. All right? What I say? Keep going. Just because you ate one time, are you going to eat the whole 7 days? You got to make that shit count. Now, you don't have to eat. Remember that. It's all mental. As long as you allow for that willpower to surge, you will make it. You don't have to eat 7 days. The body is prepared to go 40 to 43 days without food. You with me? Before it becomes a situation where you need food in your body. So just 7 days, you're going to be lighter on the end of this. You're going to lose weight. Some of you may be concerned about losing weight because you already are smaller. Some of you may be excited about losing weight because you feel like you're ready to lose weight. It's going to happen. When we come back from the fast, there will be no dairy as in cheese products. Okay? And the goal will be to stay away from bread. All right? Yeast. So we're cutting out cheese for sure. We already cut out chicken, meat, all the poultry. Okay? And as we continue to do more fasts, more things will be shedded or shredded. All right? And cut off. You're not by yourself. You're alone. You're all one. But you're not by yourself. You with me? If you want the books, we got 10 books. I'm excited about the 11th book. It'll be here soon, which is How to Clone. If you want the books, 10 books in all, you can send a donation to Play for Change Cash App with your email, and I'll have them sent to you. If anybody's been sending them for the past 3 days, I got it. All right, they loaded up, and we about to send out as an email blast. If you want to support the fundraiser, which I can show. I can show you that the funds that you guys have been sending in have been being put up. Right? So I really wish nobody would even like try to play me like that. Cause you know they doing it. But not one of them. Okay? You see where it say? What you call it? This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. Treasurer of the United States. You know it's illegal to write that on fake money. Right? The only reason why this shit scratched out because this used to say 2,500 as one of the blocks. You see that block right there? That was 2,500. But you don't see no motion picture use only. I've been doing this for a long time. All right, United States of America, God we trust. And I would not go out my way to put all this damn tape and everything just to put fake bills in the center and one real bill. Stop. Just stop. Anything other than I'm doing what I said I'm going to do. Anything other than that. It's like niggas need anything. It's got to be something. What is it? He's got to be something. No, it's what I'm saying. Yo, like what? You feel me? So, your funds, your support, all right, is being converted over into cash, protected by very heavy duty armor and weaponry. And we're going to get there. We're going to get there. So if you want to help me, you can help me. This is just what I've sent over to be turned into cash. All right, by the end of this month, there should be more of that. Or another one of those. The thing is, you got to remember when you're doing stuff like this, people say, that's 10K, that's enough. It's not. Remember, we said 144K. You know what I mean? And 144K ain't the end. Ain't like you get 144,000. It's like you go spend it on just bullshit. Or you wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing. You wouldn't have got the 10K if motherfuckers thought you were just... Well, I can't say that because there's a lot of people that have swindled and scammed the community out of millions. And, you know, they still ain't shown shit but running their damn mouth. I'm not one of those. You feel me? I'm one of the ones that's like, look, listen, just, how about this? How about think I'm full of shit? Maybe then you'll support me. Because everybody who full of shit got the support already. Listen, how about this? Hey, look at me. I'm back here. Look. Look, I got the shit. I really do got the shit. Anybody else? Look, me, I can do it. Anybody else? Anybody but the capable motherfucker who been doing this shit with nothing. Okay, oh yeah, you over here, you who ain't gonna do nothing but just like, okay, yeah, you a financier. Oh yeah. What? You say what? Invest in your bank? Okay, yeah, sure. Black bank, I'm with you. Your school? Oh yeah, cool, yeah. I'll never forget on Clubhouse when the nigga Hocus for Fifth said he would raise it $10,000 to find love, some type of reality show about finding love. And everybody ran in there to donate to this man. And he went the fuck off on niggas. You know what I mean? Supposed to, you been on my stage, you don't want to support. He really was crying and going off on niggas about not giving them some money. Grown ass man. I'm a grown man. You can't put the ass on there yet. This is it. Grown ass man. I'm just grown. You know what I mean? You can't even really put the whole man shit on there yet. That come later. As soon as I hit 30. But like when I'm 29, like a few minutes before my birthday, you still can't say that. But when I hit 30, then you can be like, you a grown ass man, dog. I'm like, yeah, you right. Some shit gotta give, huh? This grown ass is awesome. He trying to find love. Reality TV. Has anybody seen that? Has anybody seen that show? But no. Reality TV show? Yeah, sure. Support the last we got left of the Messiahs? Crickets. It's hilarious. That's all it is. And what I mean by Messiah, so that nobody get offended and think that I'm trying to call myself Jesus, all right, is speaking about people who are associated with the movements that go way beyond this day and time. I was there. I saw Tom Ray. I was there. I'm last of the last. It's just what it is. Who else got my story? Who else gonna do it? Who else gonna? If I leave right now, who gonna do what you see me doing? That just means that I'm the last of that. Like, that's it. If we want to make more, we got to do this then. If we going to open up a door where it ain't just him, all right, we got to open up the door where it ain't just him. And I have to say big ups to all of you. I'm not talking about no money thing right now. I'm talking about all of you who not only supported me, but started taking it upon yourself to activate the artist in you. I see you, right? To activate the teacher in you. I see you, okay? To activate the leader in you. I see you. I see everything. You feel me? Some of y'all, listen, there was a brother that sent me a video today. He was in his class. He was breaking something down. He was at the drawing board. And he drew like the symbol, and he was showing them how. I'm looking at, I got what he was saying. It was 4 circles, and he was explaining how 360. I didn't even see the whole teaching. All I looked at was a symbol, and the addition of 1440 equals 9 divided by 3 equals 3. I got what he was doing. And one of the niggas who recorded was like, that ain't even right. And he was like, yes, it is. It's 100% correct. And he sent it to me, was like, I tried, twin. You know what I mean? You didn't try. You succeeded. To try is to fail. You succeeded. You had a spiritual conversation in a classroom full of people who probably never were introduced to that. You literally had the word spiritual up there. I saw it. And that's what I was doing in high school. You feel me? So I see you. I see all of that. And I encourage you to keep going and keep learning and keep figuring things out. And don't think it stops with what I figured out. There's always something else. I seen when brothers put their things together, and I seen when one of the brothers messaged me, said they saying I sound just like you. You don't know what you mean in my life. Da 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 da. Listen, I see you keep going. Sometimes you got to start sounding like somebody to find your sound. Keep going. It'll come. You'll figure it out. You'll find it. And if you sound like me for the rest of your life, trust me, there's going to be a generation that needs to hear you when they ain't hearing me. Because a lot of people tell me I sound like Pops. You sound like Dr. York. You sound like the master teacher in the Imam Isa days. Well, it's because I heard the master teacher in the Imam Isa days. It's because I heard that voice. That voice was being heard by me before I was born. While I was in the womb, I heard that voice. It's in my genes. But this generation don't have Dr. York. This generation don't have Imam Isa. You know what I mean? So you're going to hear that tone. It's going to sound familiar. I see all of you. You feel me? I'm proud of y'all. The sisters, some of y'all reaching out to me, telling me that y'all completed the 90 days and y'all still going. 90 days with your celibacy and you're still going. And you feel better, you feel lighter. I'm proud of you. I see all of that. You with me? You can feel, listen, you feel the clock winding down. You know what I'm saying is true. Everybody can see, everybody can hear it. And you just know where you're supposed to be. You know where you're supposed to be. And you walk in that path. And I'm proud of you. I see you. Just wanted to hold space to acknowledge y'all. And this is major, right? Because a nigga like me, I could take this shit and flip the whole planet on his head. So I'm just like, shit, I already got a gun. I want a grenade launcher. Hypothetically, Instagram. God damn. You know what I mean? Shit, nigga, I already got a little pistol over here. I want me a goddamn 50 cal. That's all I'm saying. Y'all gave me a pistol. I could use it. I don't even gotta really use it. I could pistol whip a motherfucker with this shit. But I've been looking into these goddamn, you know what I mean? Submachines, and I want to just see what's going on with this sawed off over here, and I just want to find out a little more. That's all. I want a few more of these. You know what I mean? Because I'm about to go to war. To Wizzo. That's what I'm on. And they don't expect you to be able to do it without a label. So they think that your pride supposed to be injured by asking for help. I don't got that in me. I'm not afraid to ask for help. And they don't make me no less of a man. Make me less of a man, get on my knees in any way, shape, form, or fashion and ask a nigga or beg a nigga, you know what I mean, to put me on his motion. That made me less of a man. Made me less of a man to have some shit literally held over my head or what I done did to get on. Like 90% of y'all niggas in Atlanta. That make me less of a man. It make me less of a man to run behind a nigga in the mall while he hen pet me. You know what I'm saying? Try to take pictures with him like I'm a damn fan. That make me less of a man. I'm not running behind nobody motion. I got the people behind me. And if we gotta do 10K and you can do 100K, I bet you my 10K, your 100K, I'll beat you. I'll win. And if we gotta do 100K versus your million, I bet you my 100K versus your million, I win. Because my 0K versus your millions, I'm on your ass. I'm on your ass. They finding out real quick. Oh, it's somebody out here. Motherfuckers treat me like Voldemort. Don't say his name. Shh, shh. F1. They're doing everything in their power. And we doing everything in ours. And we win. We win. So just rest assured that it ain't never no guilt thing. Like, oh, I'm not trying to guilt nobody into. When I go in, I just go in. And I speak from the heart. So I'm going to go a million different places with this shit. But I never want nobody to feel like, you know, they being guilted into assisting me. If you assist me, you assist me. However you assist me. You know what I mean? Just don't feel like if we get to April and we don't have 144,000, that I'm going to be going off or be salty or sulky or nah, hell nah. You just going to see a nigga getting active like never before. You say, he only had 30K. Oh, I'm sorry to hear it. Next thing you going to see, you're going to see a nigga zone past. That was him. I would have expected him to be moping around. Nigga. No, nigga, this what you talking about? What are you speaking about? If we raise 1,000, I can go to war with these niggas. I don't give a fuck. Listen, look. I'm just saying, buck they system. They system equals you got to sell your soul or get on your knees or grab your ankles just to come in and be a bullshit artist that's going to continue to perpetuate the same bullshit images and bullshit ideas to the masses, who will in turn continue to perpetuate the same bullshit ideas to their children and the bullshit images to their children, who will grow up with them bullshit images as whatever reality the original bullshitters came out with. That buck they system. They system. I saw Lil Baby sit 60,000 in front of Lil Key. He signed Lil Key for 60K. I know niggas is starting to hear what I'm saying, cause I know, especially with how the money looking out here, little rappers ain't getting paid. Little rappers ain't getting paid no more. How they thought big money ain't big money no more, especially when you couldn't keep up with the lifestyle. Little rappers ain't getting paid. They losing money. 60,000 ain't no fucking money for a nigga who gonna blow that shit because they trying to keep up with the image and all this other shit. Listen, nigga like me, I don't give a fuck about paying what? If you gotta pay $50,000 for a watch and I gotta pay $50 for a watch, let's start a budget. Let's play this before we leave. Let's play budget. Let's go to war with a budget. Right? So, let's start with 144,000. Let's say this is the budget for 2024, the takeover. Right? I got 144,000 and another artist got 144,000. Right? So off rip, my 144,000, I spent $50 on a goddamn watch. Let's just say that. $50. You say, no fucking way. I say, there's always a fuck. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It do the same thing. Listen, look what my watch do. This is my watch. It do like this when the light hit it. All right? Keep that in mind. This artist come out and spend, what? Anywhere between 25, 50K. Let's say 50K. 50,000 on a watch. Get what his watch do. It do like this. I promise you. Right? When the light hit it. This what his watch do. This what my watch do. Right? So me, I'm already like, this is my laughter. Right? I'm already holding my stomach. Almost on my damn knees at this nigga. He steady trying to show me the damn watch. You know what I mean? He thinking I'm supposed to give a damn about his girl's best friend that he got on his fucking wrist. Right? So I'm laughing at his ass. I'm like, nigga, look. I throw my shit on the ground. My shit do the same thing. And it costs $49,950 less. So, after what's very important, a watch, an investment, ain't nobody gonna get close enough up on me to even know if I'm gonna spend 50 or 50K on my shit. Cause if you close enough to see my shit ain't real, too fucking close. Point blank. After that, this nigga down to what? I don't even feel like doing math, I ain't gonna lie. And this shit finna die. Not finna die, the time finna run out anyway. What? 90? Y'all don't do me like that. What is it, 80, 90? I don't feel like it, goddammit. Is it 86? 86, I'll just say 86,000 because we don't got time. 86,000. What was that, 50? Damn, how the fuck you get 86? Anyway, he about $86,000 down. I still got $139,950. And we can go on from music video expenses. Right? By the end of his music video year, he down to about maybe, I don't know, 20K. That's music videos, promo, all that. Me, I'm like maybe 120K. Right? Bro, I ain't even start playing yet. You already right here. You know? So anyway, I love y'all. They finna cut the shit off. I'll talk to y'all soon. If y'all want to support, you see how to do it. All right, we'll be back on here. Peace. Enjoy y'all fast. Rest up. Drink your water, drink your orange juice, and be grateful.